Professor Enin calls for dialogue amid GJ's police media blackout threat. Media, a vital partner. Journalist attackers must be punished. Samwadu on the big issue yesterday. And 2 suspected robbers killed in Atebubu Highway shootout with police. Galamsey encroachment threatens Tiabo gas pipelines. If you watch CNR on Friday, that was one of the major stories. And management of City FM Channel 1 TV mourns Daddy Lumba. Trauma unit at 37 military hospital shuts down August 4 for maintenance works. And Adomotre warmly welcomed by family after OSP release.
I know the newscenter.com, they also have the story of the 16 MPP executive sanctioned over election misconduct during the 2024 election. They also have a story on Paul Adomotre following his release after meeting bill conditions set by the OSP. List of countries in Africa affected by Donald Trump's new tariffs is also captured on the newscenter.com. And like we brought you yesterday, Ghana sends 40 tons of cocoa to Palestine amid Gaza conflict. Government to reintroduce by the Fireside storytelling series. Oh. And this is by the National Folklore Board. Do you remember by the Fireside?
That's exciting. I want to be one of the people who read for the kids. Well, I'm not that dramatic, but
I think you do a good job reading for them.
I loved by the Fireside. I loved the Fireside.
I'll bring you excerpts of that story later. But I think you do a really great job.
I would love
Ghana
to be one of those who
Board,
go
please
and
come
read.
in.
Yes, Ghana Folklore Board.
In fact, you have to think. You have to go there.
I have to go there and go and present myself for the job. I would love it.
I really think you do an amazing job for
them. I would love it.
All right. Of course, BOG tightens rules on remittances amid compliance failures. And these are some of the big stories. Of course, they also have that the Lumba captured here as well. But these are the big stories on the newscenter.com. Okay,
I'm on graphiconline.com. Some of the stories you'll find on that portal. In Techiman, police say a foiled robbery attempt in NPP Bono East chairman's house that resulted in the death of one person. Police again have foiled a robbery attempt on Tutuka Akrofom Road. One suspect arrested. Joint police military operation in Nkwanta leads to arrest and firearms seizure. Ace Ankuma chases Kevin Taylor with judgment in 2.95 million Ghana cedis damages defamation suit. UDF students gets life sentence in murder over love affair. Can you imagine? Violence has no place in our schools. Zanato mourns Kimbu SHS student. Ghanaians immortalize Lumba. Candlelight event at Independence Square. And some other stories you will find. Lumba couldn't fulfill one dream. That's according to his best friend, E.T. Akono. I wonder what that dream was.
Edo, on the graphic news, the Ghana News Agency.org online portal, Ajiman Rollins, Zaneto, Member of Parliament for Kloliklote, Kloliklote is in the news, as she urges urgent reforms to unlock the full potential of African women. Panafest and Emancipation Day climaxed with a call for reparative justice and unity. Also in the news, Communication Minister gives DSTV August 7 deadline to comply with bundle prices reduction or phase shutdown. This particular story got a lot of people talking. And finally here, the High Court dismisses, this story was earlier in the week when the CJ's review application was dismissed. And let me just briefly end with some foreign headlines.
All right.
Briefly, Ukraine hits oil depot and Russia strikes home near Black Sea. Clearly, the war is still very much ongoing. And Ukraine officials held in military drone corruption probe. Rescuers race to save Chile miners after collapse kills at least one. Also, your family condemns Hamas video showing emaciated Israeli hostage. And the mystery of Winston Churchill's dead platypus was unsolved. That's an interesting article on the BBC. But this morning, they are very heavy on the Ukraine war and, of course, the Gaza crisis as it unfolds. Can we delve into some of the stories you have any for us?
Definitely. Let's do the MPP sanctioned 16 members over the 2024 election misconduct. Some of the stories read, this story reads, the New Patriotic Party in the Upper East region has sanctioned 16 members from the Pusiga and Timpani constituencies for various forms of misconduct related to the 2024 general elections. A statement issued and signed by the regional chairman, Anthony Namo, dated August 1, 2025, indicated that the Regional Executive Committee acted on recommendations from a disciplinary process that began earlier this year. According to the statement, the Regional Disciplinary Committee launched investigations on January 25 following formal complaints. Hearings were held in March and findings submitted in June led to the regional leadership taking decisive action. Among those affected is Sauda Bilgumsi, the second vice chairman for Pusiga, who has been removed from office and indefinitely banned from holding any party position until he repays funds he allegedly misappropriated. 6 other officials, including Musa Awudu, first vice chairman, and Jacob Akazusa, treasurer, have been dismissed and handed 5-year bans from holding party positions. One coordinator was dismissed and barred for 4 years, while 8 others, mainly polling station executives and members, received 3-year bans. The party also cleared 5 individuals, including Salifu Ibn Adams, the constituency research and elections officer, who were found not guilty of any wrongdoing. The statement emphasized that all affected positions will be filled in accordance with the party's constitution.
I know, as we work towards, finding lasting solutions to the Baku crisis, in the central region, 3 dead, several injured in renewed chieftaincy dispute in Abodom. And this story is on citynewsroom.com. A long-standing, excerpts read, a long-standing chieftaincy dispute in Abodom in the Aguna West municipality of the central region turned deadly as clashes between rival factions reportedly left 3 people dead and several others injured. According to local sources, the violence erupted following renewed tensions over legitimacy of a recently installed chief. Details remain sketchy, but eyewitnesses say gunshots were fired during the confrontation, leading to chaos and panic among residents. It's a development story, and we'll be bringing you more updates as and when they unfold. But please, let's restrain ourselves. Let's calm prevail. I'm sure the Regional House of Chiefs should be able to sit on the matter, and bring some clarity going forward. But please, let's not resort to violence.
Channel 1 News Online, Lante Janwe residents urge Ga kingmakers to end double installment. Some of the stories, the story reads, some residents of Lante Janwe in Accra have called on the kingmakers of the Ga state to refrain from actions that threaten the peace and unity of the community. Their appeal comes amid concerns that the practice of double installment of chiefs is fueling chieftaincy disputes and stalling development in Ga communities. These concerns were raised during the celebration of the Homoa Festival at Lante Janwe, the traditional custodian of the Ga calendar, which marks the official commencement of this year's Homoa festivities across the Ga state. We should be one with the numerous chieftaincy issues. The kingmakers are the main problem. I always say that if you are a kingmaker and you install a chief, you shouldn't install a new one. A resident, Derek Ni Odate Mills, said, we're pleading with the chiefs and everybody, let's allow peace to reign because unity is strength. Another resident, Ni Obli Lai, added. Have you eaten, is it peple before? Or you don't eat it, or you just sprinkle? Do they just sprinkle?
I was going to say, I'm not a lesser god, so I've not eaten it before.
So it's just to be sprinkled, it's not to be eaten?
I think some eat it, some eat it, some eat it. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But I think some eat it.
Okay.
But I haven't eaten some before.
I asked because you've been living in Accra for literally all your life. Yeah. This is where you're born. But then if I ask whether you know how the installment system in the Ga tradition works, would you know?
I mean, I'm not Ga, but I've been around long enough to know. I remember these were things we were taught in school, in Accra Academy, They taught us all that we needed to know.
Okay.
I remember.
So is it like how we, the Akans, offer? No, Abedi.
I can't speak authoritatively on it. Let me not expose my ignorance this morning.
Because I wanted to
idea,
understand why people were advocating for the kingmakers not to, install 2 people. Because ours is a succession plan. So if there are 3 of you, you're all going to go under vetting.
It's laid out clearly.
It's laid out clearly.
There's no ambiguity.
Turns or curves or whatever.
I mean, you can get a historian or somebody with in-depth knowledge of Ga tradition customs. I'm sure Nia Ikoto has been doing a really great job, with regards to educating the public on Ga customs, right?
Yeah.
So probably we can have him on one of our shows to
explain to us
shed
the
more light
succession plan
on how it happens.
But
Homo is around, right? It's around the corner.
Yeah.
Because I know they're about to play in the Homo Cup.
They've actually started. So I guess this started when you sprinkle the Pipli around. Yes.
I know, from chieftaincy issues, right, all the way in Ituabo, Galamsey activities, threatening the Ituabo pipeline, and this is coming from Ghana Gas. A very, very concerning or very deeply worrying story. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana National Gas Company, Judith Ajoba-Blay, has expressed serious concerns over illegal mining activities near Akango in the Nzema East municipality of the Western region, warning that the encroachment poses a major threat to the critical national gas pipeline. The pipeline, which runs from the Ituabo Gas Processing Plant to Kumasi, transports lean gas for power generation. Speaking to Channel 1 TV after a tour of the affected areas on August 2nd or August 2, Madame Blay warned that any damage to the inflammable pipeline could have catastrophic consequences for both the country's energy supply and the safety of nearby communities. Wow. She assured that the company is taking immediate steps to secure the area and prevent further encroachment by illegal miners. Now, it goes on to say, while condemning the illegal activities, the Ghana Gas CEO also called for local communities to actively support to protect the gas infrastructure. Now, another ticking time bomb on our hands, right?
Yeah.
And, every day we come back, or every week we come back to read about the devastating effects of Galamsey. And again, it doesn't seem to me as though government is very committed to this fight. All the time I say it, see, when you see an area or an issue, government seems committed to. It is very clear. It's like day and night, right? So they win power, they come into government. In about a month or 2, they set up National Economic Dialogue because they acknowledge and they recognize that the economy is the issue, right?
Yeah.
So they bring so many people together. And some of the people who were at the National Economic Dialogue talking about the issues, I didn't even think they were in Ghana. I thought some of them were like traveled. But for some reason, the convening power of government was able to bring all of these people together, sit at the table and decide that this is the way forward for our economy. So how have we not been able to do something for Galamsey?
Because people are benefiting.
You see, so it shows a clear lack of political will for me, and that is deeply worrying. Each time Galamsey comes up, you get government communicators come out and say, oh, we've seized excavators. Great. We've arrested 300 miners.
Not enough.
Great, right? But the thing is still going on. So, you see, at the end of the day, we don't reward effort, right? We can't reward effort. It is the results. So if you've done all of these things and we are still seeing Galamsey thrive, some people even say more than it was in the previous administration, then it is a problem, and like this thing, they'll probably take it out, cut it, and people will come in. But the truth is that Galamsey is still thriving. So,
I don't think we should politicize certain issues. This
Exactly.
Galamsey being one of them. It's a threat to all.
And this is a government appointee telling us Galamsey activities threaten a Ituabo pipeline. So I'm waiting for it to be shut down completely before we act on it. So please, like this whole thing of we've done more than, and all the time, you see, when these issues come up, then it's about comparing with previous, and of course, politics is about comparison sometimes. Let's treat it as a national agenda.
There are certain things that shouldn't be politicized. Galamsey being one of them.
I didn't want to go this tangent this morning, but it is deeply worrying. Right, and like I said, if you see that, if you can clearly tell when government is very committed about something.
And they'll definitely
see
be committed
where they brought the
about
dollar from.
Ituabo.
You know, see where they brought the exchange rate, see where they brought the dollar from. All of these things, they wanted it to work, and it is working. So if they want to fix why did the minister not tell us that government can end Galamsey in 7 days if they want to? What has changed? What has changed now?
He has realized the reality on the ground is very different from when he was in
So we don't care. Whatever impressed on him at the time to
say what he said.
Say it, Charlie, you have to stand by it.
Yeah.
You know, so please.
The EPA boss says they should give her the mandate and that she would do it.
You see, the minister, and I'm not capping when I say that, see, he should be able to give us a weekly update on what government is doing to fix Galamsey.
Oh,
you know, we've launched Blue Water Guards for how long? No problem. Come and tell us the success story. Why we should continue paying them whatever allowances we are for the work they are doing. Justify their involvement in the fight. You know, that notwithstanding, we've seen some action. But like I said, action alone or the show of concern alone is not enough. We need to see results. After 7 months in government, we should be seeing that our water bodies is getting clearer.
Are there any clear water bodies in Ghana now? Absolutely not. We are at that point where we'll be importing water into Ghana very soon. Imagine that. I spoke to the EPA boss on CNR, and she was visibly shaken about the Galamsey, its impact on our environment, and the fact that Ghana's water bodies are
I mean, I listened
destroyed.
To a journalist, right, Adam Srem, who has, you know, documented this before. And like, let nobody say that we are sitting here and we are always talking. We've gone to these forests before. But the last time in the eastern region, we went, point of view, in the Galamsey pit, we recorded a show there. So we know what we are talking about. We are not only sitting here talking. Adam Srem, he's been using his drone and his camera to take pictures. It is actively happening. Galamsey is going on. Nothing has changed. They are mining illegally, reckless abandon. Government should go there and you know, stop this. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You know, because I'm pained because when you start talking about it, you get people from government
you'll be
trying to gaslight you. Say, you know, and it is unfortunate.
Definitely.
As though they when the effects start happening,
they'll take their passport and move.
As if Galamsey looks at only.
They'll take their passport and move. They will leave. And you and I will be here to face the consequences. So yes, talk. Free your mind. Because this shouldn't be happening.
I know.
So sad. It's so sad.
I know.
All right. If we don't talk about this, then we haven't done well. The GJA have told the president to set timelines for action on journalist attacks. A bit of that story reads, President of the GJA, Albert Kwabena Jumfo, has urged President John Dramani Mahama to attach clear timelines to his directive for investigations into recent assaults on journalists. His call comes amid growing concerns over press freedom and the safety of media practitioners in the country. The concern follows a series of violent incidents, including the assault of a GH1 TV reporter during the Ablikuma North parliamentary rerun and the reported beating of Joy News reporter Carlos Kaloni, his cameraman and an eyewitness, by armed military officers during a demolition exercise at Spintex in Accra on July 30. In response to the Spintex incident, President Mahama condemned the attack and reaffirmed his commitment to upholding press freedom. He directed the security agencies to investigate the matter and ensure the perpetrators are brought to justice. However, speaking on Channel 1 TV's Big Issue on Saturday, August 2, Mr. Jumfo said the president's statement, while welcome, lacked urgency and clarity. He said the GJA is engaging with the president and other stakeholders to push for stronger measures to protect journalists. The GJA has warned of a possible nationwide media blackout on police-related activities if decisive steps are not taken to protect journalists and enforce accountability. And we're in August now. 12 journalists already assaulted. By the time the president's 4 years are up, and because at this rate, and I think Caleb mentioned it in his show on Friday that during Pharaoh's time, yes, journalists were assaulted, but not to this extent, where we're only in the 7th month of your first year, and already 12 journalists have already been assaulted.
I think, to
and
be
there's
fair
no
to this government, right, a marked difference, really, is I've heard people say that in the previous administration it was to an extent state sponsored. I don't really know what, and it seems to be a very popular refrain on social media. But at least with this government, you want to give the president some credit in that there's been a swift, condemnation of such.
That's not what we need.
Agreed, right? So, in fact, even yesterday, a private legal practitioner on big issue, Justice Abdullah, was saying that beyond, and even Professor Dr. John Osaya Kwapon from CDD, they were all of the same mind when they said that beyond condemning, right? What next?
Yeah.
You should see the punishment so that it deter other people. And I think that is a step in the right direction.
Definitely.
So, President Mahama, we acknowledge your condemnation, right? I disagreed entirely with what Felix posted in the aftermath of the assault on the Joy News. I think it was really shocking and deeply worrying that he would put out a statement to describe it as an attempted arrest.
Attempted arrest.
It wasn't an attempted
Meanwhile,
arrest.
he was arrested.
He was arrested. And the statement refused to acknowledge the fact that he was assaulted. And for me, it was very worrying, if not embarrassing, that the minister put that out. That notwithstanding, we've seen the president's condemnation of it. We think it's great, but beyond that, we want to see those officers. I don't think it was state-sponsored. It was
you mean the demolition?
No, as in the assault on a journalist.
No.
It was clearly some overzealous officers wanting to show. So again, it brings concerns about the kind of ethical training some
that
of
our military are getting.
Some of them are great. In fact, I went to the site afterwards, right?
Yes,
and
I
went
remember you went there.
I had a very civil conversation. In fact, we stood there and we talked for about 15 minutes. With the officers, some of them there. So again, I'm very careful not to characterize it as all of our
them.
officers are, but there are certain few bad nuts there who will end up spoiling the whole soup. So let's look out for those ones and let's have proper training amongst them. And like I said, we acknowledge the president's condemnation, but we want that particular officer to be sanctioned.
Yeah, we want
to serve as a deterrent.
We want more because it's not going. We're going to go out there and report again.
Hey,
you're gonna
like
meet police officers.
like this.
You like this.
So
like I remember, was it Thursday that you went there or Wednesday?
It was on a.
I was sitting in the newsroom. I was like, oh my
Wednesday.
God, please don't let anything happen to Jude because
Jude,
where the story is, that's where he wants to go.
He's on a Wednesday.
When they say run, Jude says, why are we running? Like I want to see why we're running. So I was hoping that you come back safe and sound. So yes, we're gonna go out there onto the field and report again. And so we definitely need to be protected. So yes, we want to see sanctions applied, not just talk day and night. All right, we're done.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have an artist, Kwesi Tandy, who's going to take over and bring us some soulful Sunday worship.
Glory to Jesus. Good morning, family. Wherever you are, I want us to take a moment and say thank you to Jesus. He's good and His mercies endures forever. From generations to generations, He has proven Himself faithful in our lives. Glory be to His name. Levelo Shadabai. Thank you, Jesus. From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, your name is to be hallowed. From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, your name From the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, your name is to be honored. Hey, from the rising of the sun to the setting of the same, oh, your name is to be honored. And I will not be silent. I will always worship you. Thank you, Lord. As long as I am breathing, I will always worship you, and I will not be silent. I will always worship you. Oh, as long as I am breathing, I will always worship you. Glory, honor, and power to the one who reigns forever. Can you join me and sing it? Amen, amen. Oh, blessings and all praise to the Lamb of God forever. Amen. Glory, honor, and power to the one who reigns forever. Oh, amen, amen. Blessings and the praise to the Lamb of God forever. Oh, amen. Nimosi binigwe, anasi hallelujah, anasi hallelujah. Jehovah melio, oh melio. Nimosi binigwe, anasi hallelujah, anasi hallelujah. Jehovah melio. So every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare your glory. Every knee will bow at your throne. In worship you will be exalted, oh God, and your kingdom will not pass away. Every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare your glory. Every knee will bow at your throne. In worship you be exalted, O God. And your kingdom will not pass away. You're the ancient of days. Every tongue in heaven and on earth shall declare your glory. Every knee will bow at your throne. In worship you will be exalted, O God. And your kingdom shall not pass away. And your kingdom shall not pass away. And your kingdom will not pass away. Because you will reign and reign and reign forever, Lord. Oh, and your kingdom, yeah, will not pass away. See how far you brought me. I'm so glad you found me worthy. I can see and I can tell, and I know that it's your grace on my days. I will sing your praise. See how far you brought us. I'm so glad you found me worthy, yes. I can see and I can tell, and I know that it's your grace all my days. I will sing your praise. Now since glory.
Kwesi, wow. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Have you always known that you could sing?
Yes, from childhood.
So you've been singing since childhood?
Yes, please.
From a very young age?
Yeah, from about 9 years.
Oh,
9 years
right.
old.
You sing in church?
I sing
or?
in church.
Okay.
I was singing in school and in church.
Okay. Tell me about your musical journey. How has it been?
Well, it's not been that smooth, but God has kept us to this far. I think from school to church, Sunday school to main church, I started singing. In the main church, I think from when I was 13 years old. Mm-hmm. Yes, so from there I've been singing at programs, at churches, mostly AG churches.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, you're in AG?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've had chances to bring some music out.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have about 4 songs out now.
Oh, nice.
And I have songs with my campus choir. Yeah.
So where can we listen to those songs?
They're on YouTube, all social media platforms.
What are we searching for when we go on YouTube?
Just Kwesi Tandy.
Okay.
On YouTube is Kwesi Tandy Official. And then when you go to Spotify, Apple Music, Kwesi Tandy.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about this music that you put out. Was it dropped in your spirit? Was it, how did you, get the concept of the music? How did you write it? Does it come easy for you or not?
Oh, it really comes easy when I'm tuned to the spirit, and mostly when I'm praying. The recent one I released came through prayer. I was in a prayer meeting, and as the pianist started playing some progressions, the song dropped. I had to just record it on my phone, and then when I went home, I went back to it and I just refined it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you wish to see yourself in, the Ghana gospel music industry?
By God's grace, I would want to see myself very far and then selling Ghana across nations. I mean, joining the great musicians we have in Ghana to push the word of God across. Yes.
Okay. If there's one gospel musician that you could work with, who would it be? You never know. Maybe the person is watching, or their manager could be watching, and this could be your chance.
Oh, talking about in Ghana?
Wherever.
For Ghana, I really like Uncle Joe Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would like to work with him. I have a couple of people internationally, Nathan Obasi, Dunsin Oyekan, K-Strings.
Yeah.
There are people I listen to a lot, so I think that if I have the opportunity to work with them, it would be so great.
Will you be singing some of your own songs here for us?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Tell me a bit about them, their titles and all of that.
Okay, so
the ones you'll be singing here.
Yeah, the recent one is Holy, titled Holy.
Okay.
Yes, I have Overflow.
Mm-hmm.
I have Loving Father.
Mm-hmm.
I have Ishe Olua.
Okay, so which ones will you be singing here?
Most of the ones I released were more of Afrobeats, gospel.
We like Afrobeat gospel here.
But I think the one I would do is the recent one. It's actually a worship song, The Holy.
Okay, talking about Afrobeat gospel.
Yeah.
You think that's the genre that's where we are now with Ghana gospel, mixing our Afrobeats with gospel?
No, I think it's just we using the African rhythms that we have to fit in. I mean, just be creative about the songs that we can put out there. So it's just the opportunity to bring out, what we have inside, but bringing it in connection with some new tunes. Yes.
Has it been well received though?
So far, it's just up to you promoting it more and all that. So
definitely.
Yeah,
we wish you well.
Yes, we're waiting on God to get management and stuff.
All right, so I'm going to leave you to do your thing so that we can listen to more music. And we wish you well in your career.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. God bless you.
It's a pleasure.
We bow at your throne to sing holy, holy are you, Lord. We bow at your throne to sing holy, holy are you, Lord. Holy, 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 holy are you, Lord. We bow at your throne, yes, Lord, to sing holy, holy are you, Lord. Oh, we bow at your throne to sing holy, holy are you, Lord. Holy, 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 holy are you, Lord. Angels are singing, bowing at your feet. People are singing, yes, they are bowing at your throne. Lord, you are holy. You are Yahweh. You are You are holy, the Lord of hosts. Holy, 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 holy. Thank you, Lord. You are holy, holy are you, Lord. Ooh, we bow at your throne to sing holy, holy are you, Lord. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve my praise. Worthy is your name, oh, worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve my praise. Worthy is your name. So creations cry, holy. All the angels cry, holy. You are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Your name is the highest. Your name is the greatest. Your name stands above them all thrones and dominions, all powers and positions. Your name stands above them all. Creations cry, holy. All the people sing, holy. You are lifted high, holy, holy forever. Now unto the Lamb upon the throne we raise a sound, we raise a sound. For he is God and God alone. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Posaye, Ahote, and to me, Echira, Kanidinda. I want it to me, oh, Echira, Ganidida, and Yanyam, kwamano awade eni to me etira kanirida semishe adiwaya mamia wa mama koma to me semishe adiwaya mamia mekuto namasoyo hey semishe adiwaya mamia wa mama akoma to me oh semishe adiwaya mamia oh mekutu namasoro hey etisema ukwaji kuruane so oyin kasie mekania wayena amama na bobudi semema ukwaji kuruane so oyin kasie mekania wayena amama na bobudi Meshirano Namatonsono Meyinidina Kosibiasiere Madonna Mene Mekira Ninie Womimu Yina Meshirano Namaton to know Meyinidina Kosibiasiere Madonna Mene Mekira Ninie Womimu Yina Holy, 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 holy are you, Lord. Glory to Jesus. Glory to you, Lord.
Mommy, good morning.
Good morning, my son. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mom. How about you?
I'm fine.
Joe, I just saw your mom doing her usual morning routine. Like, it was just 2 weeks she underwent a major colon surgery.
Bro, see, my mom is doing perfectly fine, and we're all excited about it. It was minimally invasive surgery, and the recovery has been very fast.
Minimally? Hey! No, wait. What do you mean by that?
So they offered my mom a laparoscopic colon surgery. Laparoscopic colon surgery,
Hey.
which we accepted. It turned out it was equally safe with a very fast recovery time, and the cost involved too was very, very reasonable. She was discharged 3 days after the surgery, and you can see her, she's on her feet again.
3 days?
Just 3 days, bro.
Mean Tuber Hospital, first Ghana colorectal center aimed to serve a peculiar health need.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
Maybe Wakaba at the Bar Spine Therapeutic Center. Ahano Yeshe Echinkasei, Eye Wechi Lumpe.
I had a problem with my waist. I was virtually stiff down. Virtually, I could not move. After going through some treatment with the Spine Therapeutic Center, I am fine. I feel much better, I'm stronger, and I can walk. Now I can even give some action and joy to my wife.
Aha, your food supplement wo. Yes, some we are no na ye to asie kura e the amount. In fact, yempe ene yakofa spinal scan etimi detect spinal misalignment bia e wo wachi. Ye wo physiotherapy wo ho, ye wo stretch therapy, ye wo gym, ye wo massage.
And when you get there are so many things that you can buy, including the book that Dr. Labi have written, Your Spine, the way it works, and it will give you the biggest picture of your life.
Chese efa lumpe hunkwa dia fabra.
Spine Therapeutic Center. Your spine is our concern.
Welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel 1 TV with me, Jude Duncan. Just gone by our artist for the day, gospel artist for the day, Kweku Tandy, taking us through an inspiring, worship period. Now it's time to get back into our health conversations, a very important part of the show, because we get to learn about ourselves, right? How the human body works, ways we can make it more efficient, we can make it much better. And to help us go through the conversation is a regular on the show. She's been with us since the very beginning, and she'll be with us to the end. Dr. Kalsum Zakaria Adam. Good morning and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning, thank you.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Last week we didn't have you.
Exactly.
But we are always happy to have you back.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
This week we are looking at pulse.
Hemorrhoids.
Hemorrhoids.
So if you have any questions, and that's to our viewers, do send them to the WhatsApp number 0204 447 033, 0204 447 033, and Doc will be here to answer them for you. I think we're going to start the conversation.
Absolutely.
What are hemorrhoids and how common are they?
Okay, so hemorrhoids, commonly it's called pulse. And even in our local dialects, people call it cocoa, yes. So it's basically, in short, swollen veins around the anal region. So there's something we call the anal cushions. So these anal cushions are usually filled with blood vessels, and what they do is that they swell up or they contract to allow us to move our bowels. Okay, so when they become engorged and such that they become symptomatic, we say that we have piles or we have hemorrhoids. So that's basically what hemorrhoids are. And it depends on where exactly it's located. We have different classifications of hemorrhoids where you see that we have the internal ones where you don't see them, but depending on the grade of it. And then also you have cases where you have the external ones. So the internal ones are basically found within the lower part of the rectum. So the rectum is part of the, the large intestine. Okay, so when you have it at the lower part of the rectum, where in certain cases, when it's not large enough and it hasn't prolapsed, you may not see it outside the body. But you may have some signs and symptoms that I'll talk about shortly. And then also the external ones where you may feel there's something hanging around the rim of the anus.
Yeah.
You get it. So those are the external ones. And the internal and external ones, there are differences in terms of even the signs and symptoms that they present with. The external ones, basically you may feel that there's something that is actually hanging out of my anus. And hemorrhoids, I mean, some people, because of where it is located, it's a very difficult and sensitive topic to talk about, because people do not want to are shy and embarrassed to even talk about the fact that, oh, I found something somewhere, you know, in that private area. And then the internal ones usually are not painful, but they may present with bleeding. So anytime the person goes to the washroom, the blood is bright red and then it spills in the toilet bowl. Or certain times when they try to clean after using the washroom, they see that there's some blood on the toilet paper. Or there are certain times too when they finish, there's some dripping and the blood is not mixed with the stool. All of these are signs and symptoms associated with piles. But having said this, I should also quickly mention that bleeding from the anus could also mean other things aside piles. So it could mean, exactly, it could mean that it's maybe some cancer of some sort. Cancer in the colon or in the rectum, yes. Or it could even be any other thing like inflammatory bowel disease. So you having maybe bright red bleeding, you shouldn't take it for granted, but rather quickly get to the hospital so that it can be investigated as soon as possible. So having spoken about the internal and external ones, the internal ones come in grades. So depending on how large it is and depending on whether it can be reduced back into the rectum or into the, back into the rectum, then you'll be able to tell whether it's grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, or grade 4. So grade 1, usually they are not prolapsed. And you may have some bleeding associated with it depending on how large it is. And then grade 2, we say it's grade 2 when anytime you are moving your bowels, it prolapses. It prolapses, so it comes out and then spontaneously it goes back in. Okay, but in certain times where it prolapses, but then you have to manually push it back in. That is grade 3. Okay, and then in certain times where now it becomes constantly prolapsed or permanently prolapsed, then that's grade 4. So the grading is important because it also helps you know the type of treatment that you can give for each of these hemorrhoids. And I'm sure we've heard a lot about some of the myths associated with hemorrhoids. People say that, oh, as for piles, it's just for the elderly, very old people, they're the ones, but no, it's not. It affects almost every age group, depending on the risk factors. If you do have some of these risk factors, yes, you would be able to have piles, depending on anything that increases your intra-abdominal pressure. It predisposes you to having piles. Also, people say that, oh, when you take in some spicy fruits, they are the ones that will end up giving you piles. But that's not true. That's erroneous because what the spicy food will do is that, you know, when you are going to excrete or when you are going to pass stool, if the area is inflamed and this spiciness gets close to people who already have the hemorrhoids, then they may end up having some burning sensation around the area. But spicy foods in themselves do not actually cause.
I'm sure another,
piles.
major misconception or myth might be that they go away on its own.
Yes.
Or that is a truth.
Well, there is some truth in it, because it depends on the grade, as I mentioned. So if it's in the early grade or in the early stage, it is diagnosed, and then you refrain from all the things that promotes its development, it's likely that it will shrink, and then that will be the end of it, because they are non-conservative. So we have conservative and then non-conservative ways of managing. So once you notice it, then now you make sure that you are eating high fiber diets, and then you're hydrating appropriately. It means that all the risk factors have been reduced markedly, and it may end up shrinking. So that has a little bit of truth in it.
Can you walk us through the main causes of hemorrhoids?
Yes, so there are a lot of risk factors associated with developing hemorrhoids. One of them is anything that causes increased intra-abdominal pressure. So something like constipation. So having very hard stools that you have to strain as much as possible before you end up moving your bowels can predispose you to getting hemorrhoids. Another is micturition. So people who have maybe a large prostate and they have to strain before they are able to urinate or pee, that's another risk factor for developing it. You having or eating foods that are very low in fiber, so very refined foods, such that, because the fiber, what it does is that it adds bulk to the stool, and then it also helps with absorbing water so that your stool is not dry. So if you have absence of this, it means that you may end up having very scanty stools, and you would have to strain before you can move your bowels. Another risk factor is even pregnancy. So pregnancy, and then that would also lead to an increased intra-abdominal pressure, and then eventually you may end up with piles. And then having to sit on the toilets, yes, for very long periods. It's the same thing to increase pooling of the blood vessels around the anus and then around the rectum, to lead to pooling of blood there, and then with increased gravity, that can lead to you developing piles as well.
Take our phone
yes,
and books to the
exactly.
toilet.
Yes,
Absolutely wrong. Wow.
Yeah. So all of these are some of the risk factors associated with hemorrhoids, and then you developing it.
Would you say it's a life-threatening condition to have?
So yes and no. Yes, when it becomes complicated, and no when it is just at the early stages, you have been diagnosed, and then you have to go on to do some lifestyle modifications to reduce your risk factors. In the sense that if you have piles that has become enlarged, and it has become maybe thrombosed as well, and what is happening is that you end up bleeding. You are bleeding through these piles, so, or hemorrhoids. You are bleeding. So once you are bleeding, it means that anytime you try moving your bowels, you are losing some blood. This can lead to anemia and all of its associated risk factors or its complications, and that is when it becomes life-threatening, as opposed to the ones that they are small and the only maybe signs. And so maybe let's talk about even the signs and symptoms associated with it. So some of the signs and symptoms may be the bright red bleeding that I have spoken about, and if it goes on for a very long time, you end up with anemia. So anemia, you have all the signs associated with low blood levels or low HB. And then the other thing that may happen with it is that you may end up feeling that you have that feel of there's something hanging outside your anus, okay, which is not pleasant. There are certain times where, because of this, you have something we call incontinence. So the anus is supposed to, it's like a sphincter. So then it closes tightly so that things just don't come out. But then when things end up coming out without that, the fact that you yourself would have to allow it or relax it for it to come out, then you may end up having to sew your underpants and all of that. And then also the fact that when the area is wet, it means that there can be some superimposed infection of either bacteria, because already we know our stool has a lot of bacteria. So some bacteria may end up, you may end up having some skin changes and then skin infections around the anus, which will not be pleasant. Then also pruritus, there's something called pruritus ani, where you end up, because of the moist nature of the area and then superimposed infection, plus the inflammation that is going on, you end up scratching the area. So you scratching the area will make it worse, more inflammation, more infection, and then also it makes it uncomfortable. So you may not be able to mingle well in social functions. Exactly, and all of that.
Moist,
and then, is it naturally moist? It's not naturally moist, but as I said, if it becomes prolapsed, it means that your anus that is supposed to must have been tight. There's something coming. Yes, prolapsed. It's out of it. So it means that things that are coming from your GIT or your small intestine can sip out. So if it sips out, then it will keep that place very moist. And once there is moisture, if there is any bacteria or any virus there, you end up with a superimposed infection, and then the whole cycle continues, as we have mentioned. And then also the feeling of you have visited the loo, but then you still feel that there's something still there. So incomplete voiding is also another symptom that the patients may present with. So there are a number of symptoms, and then when it becomes complicated, you have your anemia, as we have mentioned, and then also there are times that people become uncomfortable because of the fact that they feel that there's something hanging out of their anus.
Every time you have, should I say, incomplete bowel
voiding,
or you still feel that you've retained some of your does that mean I didn't want to say poop, but does that mean that you have piles necessarily?
No, that can be other conditions, but then it's one of the classical symptoms and signs that the patients may complain of.
When do I know that it's time to visit a doctor?
Okay, so a number of them, especially when the fact that you are bleeding, you are bleeding continuously. So that will lead you to anemia with all the signs and symptoms associated with it. You become dizzy, you become weak, and all of that. Yes, you need to visit the hospital. And then also, when you have grade 3 and then grade 4, where in certain times now it has become bigger, that you would have to manually push it in. You may have to visit the hospital for the treatment options to be given to you. Or if it becomes permanently prolapsed, as in grade 4, then that as well, you need to visit the hospital for the necessary management to be done. So the management varies from conservative to non-surgical to surgical. So non-conservative or conservative, is basically where some lifestyle modifications would be prescribed to you. So it means that you have to consciously make sure that in your diet you have fruits and vegetables associated, or you have fruit and vegetable included in your diet. And then also high grain or high roughage should be within your diet as well. So people who like the white breads and all of that now, you would want to be eating the bread that contains wheat, that contains whole grains and all of that. And then you need to hydrate as much as possible, at least 3 liters of water. Make sure that you have hydrated. And then make sure, and then another thing I didn't mention is that one of the risk factors also that has been associated is the fact that people who use enemas, So the use of enemas, you know, in our local
really?
settings, yes, people
Where
end
are
up
mothers?
using
They should listen.
people end up using enemas, you
Is
know,
it Bentois?
harsh, yes, you know, and then
that's fine. That's fine.
you know, so then that's also, you need to avoid that.
Add ginger. Oh,
Yes.
wickedness in that.
You know,
Oh.
so you need to avoid that as well. And then after, so hydration, and then making sure that you are eating whole grains, and then aside that, you make sure that you do, there's something we call sit baths. So sit baths are where you are going to sit in some warm water with a little bit of salt.
Okay.
Okay, so what it does is that it has, the salt acts as an antiseptic, and then to kill any bacteria that is within the area, and then it also helps to shrink and then reduce the inflammation that is ongoing there. And then once you have taken care of all of these, it means that your stool consistency is going to change.
Okay.
So it would give you shorter periods within the when you are visiting the washroom, and then it will reduce the straining that you are going to be straining during that period. So once you have these and then you maintain it, yes, you should be able to adequately manage the beginnings of these hemorrhoids. And then if you are examined, and then it means that you would have to undergo certain non-surgical management modalities. Some of these include sclerotherapy, where sclerosants would be injected within it just to help shrink it, and then it is taking off. And then other times where you can use cryosurgery, so freezing. So instead of sclerosant, you can use low something that is that. So like nitrous oxide, okay, for that particular procedure. Or you can do band ligation, so where a little rubber is used to tie and then allow it to wither, and then that's also takes care of it. So those are the non-surgical ways of.
You mentioned. Can women do it? Because salt and
yes, they can.
And
they can. It's not hypertonic salt. You know, so it's just enough to taste like there's some salt. So it's not very.
So the salt shouldn't
overpower. Exactly. So just a little bit of salt in there, because the salt actually has that antiseptic agent to help with, and then it has to be measured so that you don't have to go in all in like that, but you know how to so that it's more to the back than to the front.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, I want
and then the surgical,
Oh, you can finish your point then.
All right. And then the surgical management. So the surgical management, that will mean that you'd have to have some hemorrhoidectomies done. So where you'll be taken to theater, and then it is taken away surgical, by a surgical means. And then you are given some post-operative instructions and then management, and subsequently you should be fine.
The whole thing is removed?
Yes, the whole thing is removed.
And you can live without it?
Yes, you can. So it's just a swelling, engorged vein, which will just be taken. And usually, these anal cushions that I mentioned, they are usually the sites where you find them will be at the number 3 o'clock position, number 7 o'clock position, and number 11 o'clock position. So most of the time, those are the areas that you may find all.
There's a question here for you, Ju, just before you come in. Is itching around the anus a symptom?
Yes, it is. So pruritus A9, we mentioned it's because of incontinence, and then you have the place is moist, inflammation, superimposed infection, all of that can lead to that, and then that becomes very uncomfortable for the patient. Right.
I wanted to talk to you or get your views around the prevalence of it.
Okay.
You know, because at the point you sit in any public bus transport, somebody's inside selling cocoa, medication. So just tell us how,
how common it is. It's actually common. It's actually very common. It affects. So it's something that can affect almost every age group.
Okay.
So there isn't any age predilection. As I mentioned in one of the myths, where people think that, it's just for the elderly. No, it's not.
Or obese people.
Or obese people. Well, obesity is a risk factor.
Okay.
But then it can affect almost everybody. Once you have these risk factors, and it's quite common, because people would come in and some people, and you see, most people may not also present to the hospital because of how sensitive it is. And they may feel embarrassed to talk about that part of their body. So it is common. There are a few people who would present to the hospital, but most of the time, the records that will be in the hospitals will be the ones that come with the complications, because it has gotten to a part where if they do not take care, it becomes life-threatening.
Yeah.
But then imagine all the external ones, and then the ones that are maybe in grade 1 or grade 2 that are not presenting just because of the fact that they are not having all the complications that we've spoken about. Yes, there are a number, so it's quite common.
Yeah.
And people actually have it, especially because most of our diets, now people are moving away from vegetables and contemporaries and all of that, and rather they are eating all the fast foods.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Very
Indomies,
oily.
Yes, and then the greasy foods and all of that. And all of these would increase our risk of developing piles because of the increased intra-abdominal pressures that we may end up having.
There's a question here from Kujo. He wants to know if eating too much okra causes koko.
No, so eating too much okra, no, it doesn't, because it's one of the vegetables that is recommended, and it helps you to free your bowels nicely, so it shouldn't. It's rather a good risk factor.
All right. I think the other question here you've already answered. Can constipation cause pile?
Yes, it is one of the main risk factors that leads to the formation of piles or hemorrhoids for that matter. Yeah, so those are, we've gone, so in a nutshell, we've actually gone through what piles or hemorrhoids are. And interesting, in one of the, what's the name? The myths as well. Aside people thinking it's for the elderly, and then it's spicy. Some people even think it's contagious. Yeah. Some people think that it's contagious.
Next to you, you're scratching your butt like, I'll excuse you. So, yeah.
Some people think that it's contagious, but it's not. Piles is not contagious. And the only thing is that you can have superimposed infection in the area.
Yeah.
So either bacteria or viruses, because of how moist the area is. So you can end up with an infection that will lead to the pruritus ani that we spoke about. So you sharing the same toilet bowl with somebody will not let you get piles.
What would you say you need to see a doctor? Especially for the mild cases, right?
Yeah.
At what point do you say, you've got to get this checked?
Exactly. So in people who have started lifestyle modifications, but then they are not seeing any regression, but they are seeing some progression. Possibly, maybe the first time I only had the internal one, some bleeding, it wasn't prolapsed. But then subsequently, I started my lifestyle modification. But subsequently, I noticed that that same pile, it hasn't reduced in size, it has rather become bigger. And now it's prolapses and it spontaneously goes in. So it means that it is progressing. So you definitely have to come for a thorough assessment to be done. And then especially in people who maybe they have the bright red bleeding and they haven't been screened for other diseases like the colon cancers that I mentioned or the inflammatory bowel disease. Yes, all of these are very important that you come so that they are ruled out and then you are treated appropriately for the condition.
What advice do you have for, let's say, someone who may be going through any of the symptoms that you mentioned?
Yeah.
But it's a topic that people shy away from. They're too shy to talk about it. What advice would you have for someone like that?
Yeah. So what I would say is that it's important. Your health first. Once you have life and you have health, that's the most important thing. So you need to put aside that shyness, yes, as much as possible. And then talk to any of your primary healthcare physicians about it. And the appropriate management will definitely be given you.
There's another question here Good morning. What is the cause of hard stool?
Hard stool. Okay, so
Is that
hard stool,
constipation?
yes, that's
Yeah, that's
constipation.
constipation.
So hard stool is when you are not eating the raffages that I mentioned. Where do you get raffages from? You get raffages from your vegetables, so inclusion of vegetables and then fruits in your diet. So raffage, you don't digest raffage. We humans can't digest raffage. So they definitely would have to come out through us. So they give us bulk. They increase the bulk of our stool. And aside the increase in bulk of our stool, it also helps to absorb water, okay, so that your stool is not dry and then it can come out. Once you have bulk, you have some moisture in the stool, it can easily pass out instead of it being scanty and then very hard and you do not have water in there. And then eventually, even when you have to strain, you have to really strain to get it out. And through that, if it is very hard, it can end up causing some scratches along the whole canal, and then that can also predispose you to certain.
What is the correct way
condition.
of passing stool? I've been told that you should set your feet on,
Yeah.
elevate it a little so that it's easier.
Yeah, it's easier.
for
So
the stool to come
all
out.
of this is to help you reduce that intra-abdominal
Okay.
yes, pressure, because that's the most. So once you do that, research has shown that once you elevate your feet and then your knees are well bent, it reduces that intra-abdominal pressure that we are talking about. So if you are sitting at 90 degrees, it means that it will increase the intra-abdominal pressure, the strain would increase that intra-abdominal pressure, and then they'll be pulling the blood vessels or the cushions at the anal region at the lowermost point. So it will increase that pooling of blood there with the gravity acting on it, and that can predispose
I've
you to
always
get
wondered
it.
why they don't make toilets in that
Yeah.
way, because it's easier, to be
Yeah.
honest. You should elevate your legs and poo. And pass to, okay, there are questions here.
Okay.
Good. Is waist pain a symptom of PALS?
No, it's not. It's not a classic symptom of PAL. It's just one of those musculoskeletal pains, but
And
not a
someone wants to
classic.
know
Yeah.
if it is hereditary, because they say, I have some, and I asked my grandma, and surprisingly, she said it's in the family.
Yes.
is
So
it hereditary?
familiarly, yes, some people who have some.
Of all the things you can
Your
inherit,
expression,
right?
I know, right?
But you see, all of these that you have some genetic predisposition
Yeah.
and all of that, if you indulge in the right practices, it reduces your risk.
Okay.
But then if you do have family history of it, you need to indulge in the right so that you don't end up having. So it puts you at a higher risk of getting hemorrhoids compared to others who do not have it at all.
Kojo from Adan wants to know if cocoa causes impotency.
No, it doesn't cause impotence.
Why are you laughing? Is there like a myth bust? Is this like something you hear often?
Yes, I've heard about it before. That cocoa, and even people say cocoa in your eyes.
Oh, how?
Yeah, they say cocoa, so it gives you what blurred vision and all
wow.
of that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
so people are
A major culprit of
Exactly.
these kinds of stereotypes and misconception will probably be all of these drug
yes,
sellers. I don't
yes.
call them peddlers,
On the-
but
on
like,
the bus.
on
Yeah,
the
on
bus,
the
it's like,
bus.
they
One
claim
drug
their
can solve
medication
four or
can
five
solve
issues, yeah.
every. I mean, the main target is
Cocoa.
cocoa.
Yeah.
But then they go
It's
on to
always
say
cocoa.
it can solve every other thing. So it gives me the
Yeah,
inclination
Yeah.
that it is a very common, because
Yeah.
people buy.
Yeah.
You like you say the church, the drug will get free. People are buying it.
Cocoa and drug.
So I'm wondering how come. I think you brought clarity to it for us.
Yeah.
So it's not true that it can affect your eyes.
No, it's not.
But
It's just, as I mentioned, hemorrhoids is engorged veins in
Okay.
simple terms. So I'm sure people who are linking it to the eyes are looking at, sometimes they have these puffy eyes, you know, or engorged veins somewhere, skin tags somewhere, and they are. But it has no relation at all.
Someone wants to know where they can find you. They said a friend needs help.
I'm in Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
They should know that this show is the only place you can get free consultation. If you
So
go to the office,
you have to pay.
are there any more questions?
No, not at
Wow.
the moment.
Look, I think your message has gone down quite well.
Thank you.
I've learnt.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to teach.
Yes, you should.
By the grace of God, I don't suffer from it. So, and I pray I don't. But thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you too for having me.
Yeah, active on social media, right? All platforms,
yes,
LinkedIn, everywhere.
Yeah.
Dr. Kalsum Zakaria Adam, who is also a maxillofacial surgeon. We'll take a quick break now. When we are back, there's a lot more for you on Sunday Breakfast. Don't go away.
At the exact spot where a man was shot while returning to his vehicle from a local eatery last Friday, armed police officers have now mounted permanent checkpoints on high alert to prevent any escalation. Motorbikes and unregistered vehicles thoroughly searched, with particular scrutiny given to riders carrying backpacks. Law enforcement personnel are also ensuring compliance with road safety regulations. Security officers, both police and military, are strictly enforcing the 7 p.m. curfew on the use of motorbikes in line with the Regional Security Council's directive. Residents have been reacting to the increased presence of security forces in Ashanti and across parts of the Ashanti region.
They are calm. They are not really forcing you to do anything bad or something, yeah.
But are you used to seeing some of these checkpoints?
This is my first time seeing such situation in Kumasi. Like
that one is very good. Because recently in Ashanti here, and I was when I went to the Bantama, I think the government is doing well.
Though the assailants behind the recent killings remain at large, security agencies have impounded several motorbikes for non-compliance with the directives. There are also confirmed reports of weapon seizures in intelligence-led operations across the municipality. 1 week after the enforcement began, many residents are applauding the security efforts but are urging government to take bolder steps to curb the rising incidents of violence.
All right, now what we want is they should maintain the distance checkpoints. It is not supposed to be 1 month, 1 week or 2 weeks. They have to continuously doing it.
Criminologist at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Jones Opokuwari, says while the patrols are necessary, the focus must shift towards swift investigative action.
So the prompt response to the investigation, the prompt response to arrest, and being able to respond to these murders and crimes as they happen is what makes the difference. And I'm thinking that the police over the period have been a bit lethargic.
He also warns that without addressing underlying factors, these temporary measures may not prevent future attacks.
Short to medium term, you should be able to contain the issue, but in the long term, there are very, very, very serious things on the ground, which I think that is the agencies of state, which I think even the government will have to come in and solve.
The situation is mirrored at other major intersections and strategic locations, with heightened vigilance becoming the new normal for now.
Inhabitants are urging the government and the security agencies to do more to curb these incidences. Hafiz Tijani, Channel 1 News, Kumasi, Ashanti region.
Welcome back. A week ago, we brought you this particular story. We are going back to the Ashanti region again for updates on this. At the time, we were told that the wearing of smoke had been banned in the area. We were also told that tricycles and motorbikes would not be allowed, to go about their activities after 7 p.m. And quite a number of wide, ranging directives aimed to curb at the time what was becoming a very concerning or an increasing spate of killings in the area. Our correspondent Hafiz Tijani is on the line to give us some updates to this particular story. Good morning, Hafiz, and welcome to Sunday Breakfast.
Good morning, Mr. Duncan. How are you and the team?
Very well,
we are keeping
thank
well.
you.
I trust you are keeping well and safe too.
Well, I just had my morning cocoa here.
Right. Hafiz, can you give us an update, right? A week ago, we had you on the show. You told us the state of affairs in the Ashanti region. A week on, what can you report for us?
Well, so the directives are still in place, and the Security Council has not come out with any review of the new directive. They are only monitoring the situation to look at how the security issues within Ashanti and Ashanti region will be. So they have not come out to say they are revising the directive or maybe changing some of the security directive they have put out. But the security officers are still doing their work. They have also intensified their patrols within the areas. You know, the Aswanse community where the incident happened, that is where most of the focus is. But you look at other areas within the Greater Kumasi area, the police and the military are also intensifying their day and night patrols within these areas so that they can avert any form of or possible disturbance or such incidents happening. So the police is intensifying its patrols and they are making a headway. And people are also complying because of how the police officers and the people are. But I spoke to some of the security officers who also tell me it's been difficult. It's been very difficult. Imagine, Mr. Duncan, when they arrest some of the motorbikes or people who are not complying with the directive, you know, sometimes they call people in authorities to intervene, and they are not happy about that. They only want to be independent to do their work because it's a directive from the government because of what happened, and they want people to cooperate. But they say some are complying with the directive. Others, when they are caught in the web, they try to call the big men and for them to intervene to resolve the issue. And some of the security officers are not so happy about what is happening.
So if I get you correctly, as things stand, the major challenge has got to do with the compliance, right? Or enforcing it, because you said people still call when people flout the directives, and that is hampering the work of the security officers.
Yes, for the enforcement, it's been done very, very, very strategically, and the compliance in some quarters, people comply with all the directives. Others who fail to comply and they think that they know people in authority, when they flout the directive, they want to call them and then they will intervene. So on Friday when we were going around, one of the bike riders, he had an unregistered motorbike, and he didn't have a crash helmet. So the security officer was trying to draw his attention to that. He stopped him and was asking him some of the questions. Then he brought out the phone and gave it to the officer. Then the officer asked that, why are you giving me the phone? I'm not going to speak to anyone. We are only here to do our work.
Wow.
And I think there's a strategy, Mr. Duncan and Eno, there's a strategy the police administration or the authorities have used. Most of the people who you are seeing enforcing this are not from the Ashanti region. They are all from the headquarters. They are all from Accra.
Okay.
Because I spoke to most of them. And when we even got there on Friday, some of them, they will see Channel 1 and say, hey, Channel 1, you people are here. Are you from Accra or you are from here? And some of them say that's their favorite station they watch. So they've been interacting, asking about some of the key people. Yeah, Bernard Avle and co. And they say they are from Accra and they are only here to do the work. So I think it's one reason why the authorities have not put people in Kumasi, so that they will not be meeting people
known
they
faces.
know.
Interesting.
And yes, they will not be able to enforce the law to the latter. But in all, the security officers are doing their work, just that these are some of the lapses that are coming up.
Afis, beyond the enforcement of the directives, right? A week on, do we know if some very significant leads have been made, right? Do we know if up until this point, the police have come out with some information around some perpetrators behind some of these very heinous, crimes we reported on a week ago?
Well, so according to the Ashanti Regional Police Commander, DCO Peter Ekujo, he says that they are making some inroads in terms of their investigations and tracking the suspects. So they say that they have realized that the person who committed the first, or the people who committed the first crime, which led to the death of the local chief, are the same people who have shot this man last 2 weeks Friday, and the same trend or the same method has been used or was used in perpetrating this crime. And they say they are close to arresting them, though they will not give specifics on what they are doing, but they say they are close, very close to arresting them. They are gathering more intelligence on these people, and they are trying to ensure that they are brought down.
All right, Hafiz, hold on for us. Let's go over the phone lines and speak to the MC for Asokore Mampong, Ben Abdallah Al-Hassan. Mr. Al-Hassan, many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, my sister.
2 weeks on, the ban on smokes and motorbikes within the Asokore Mampong municipality. What is your assessment?
The connection is very bad. If you could do something about it.
Okay, all right. While he does something about it, can you hear me now?
It's better now.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to know your assessment on the directive that, at certain times within the Asokore Mampong municipality, there's a ban on motorbikes as well as smokes, wearing of smokes within the municipality following the two incidents that happened there.
Yeah, I must say the measures are being enforced by the security personnel, and there's generally very good compliance on the part of residents with regards to some of these measures. And so I must say the measures have kicked in quite well, and the security personnel are also strictly enforcing them.
You sit on the Security Council. Are we any closer to catching the perpetrators?
Investigations are still ongoing, and there are very credible leads as we speak now. And we feel that we are on course. The security apparatus are doing their work very well, and very soon we'll be able to make some very good arrests. I must say.
Are you able to help us, right? We've seen that enforcement is going on quite well. Our correspondent also tells us that compliance in most instances is also going on very effectively. But I've been told that there have been some instances where persons who've been, arrested for flouting the directives, are seen or make some calls which, sort of derail the progress security officials are making. Has this come to your notice, and what do you have to say with regards to this particular concern?
Yes, it has come to my notice, and I've urged the security personnel to carry out their work without favor and without let or hindrance. And I also experienced a situation where someone called me, and I told the person that they are there to enforce the law and to make sure the measures are strictly followed. And so I wasn't going to intervene. So it is true. But we are also urging them and telling them that, I mean, they should do their work without any favoritism.
Mr. Al Hassan, are you also able to share with us if, up until this point, the police or the security officials investigating these issues have come up with any significant lead, a week on?
Yes, I'm able to confirm that. I mean, there's a lot of progress as far as the investigations are concerned. And since some of these things are security matters, I prefer not to go into so much detail, but I feel and I know that we've made a lot of progress in that regard.
Are you able to also share with us how long these directives, right, with regards to the issues, the directives on some of the things you point out, for example, the wearing of smokes, the banning of motorcycles, how long are they going to be enforced for?
Yes, MUSEC is reviewing some of these measures and advising RESEC accordingly. And so, as and when we feel that some of them can be lagged a little, we will provide that information. Now RESEC has taken over completely the security measures. So MUSEC is currently reviewing and providing credible and useful information to RESEC to be able to help them in their review of some of these measures. So I think when we feel or RESEC feels that it is important or necessary to review some of these directives, they will come up with the information as regards that.
Mr. Ben Abdallah Al-Hassan, thank you so much for your time. You've become now a part of the show. And we are grateful that you always spend some time in the morning to give us updates on this particular, concern. We'll be coming back to you as and when we need more. Thank you so much. Yes.
All right.
Amazing. So you just heard that Mr. Ben Abdallah Al-Hassan, who is the MC for Sokori Mampong, an area where a lot of these things we are discussing, directly falls under his purview.
Hafiz is still on the line. I think I have a question for him. Hafiz, yes, I wanted to know the general feel within, the Greater Kumasi area. Are people calmer now, knowing what they know?
Well, so from when the directives were enforced to this day, people are so happy seeing the police around, and people say the kind of smaller thefts you have, maybe the burglary in some of the communities are coming down because for people seeing military patrols, seeing police patrol day and night, they are able to comply with some of the laws of the country. And, and Mr. Duncan, I've also been making some observation. I want to speak to other authorities like the MTTD and the road safety, if they are also making a similar observation. So, the Ashanti community, 5 out of 2 motor riders who wear crash helmets. But since the enforcement began, things are changing and people are putting on, even people who, the pilot rider and or both people on motorbikes who want to put crash helmets. And many, I spoke to some people some few days ago who have not registered their motorbikes. Now they don't even move with their motorbikes. They try to at least park it for some time because of the presence of the security officers. So they are not only enforcing the RESEC directive, they are also enforcing road safety regulations. So people without crash helmets are questioned. People with unregistered motorbikes are also questioned. So you are seeing some level of discipline within the community. And the tricycle operators, who are popularly called Pragia here in Kumasi, sometimes they move off the lane. They are tricycles. They are not supposed to move in the middle lane when the cars, when there's traffic. But now you see that they are also complying. They move strictly by the lanes. So that is also changing. So people even believe that this should be extended for a longer period. It shouldn't just be for a short time. So things are changing and discipline at least is coming up. I'm here to speak to the MTTD and the road safety if they are also seeing or observing some of this trend I'm talking about.
So aside as a Mampong, the general feel in Kumasi is that of safety. That's what you say.
Yes, exactly. And people are happy about the patrols. People are also happy about what the government has done in bringing in the security. They say that the situation, even if someone has an intention to commit a similar crime, they would slow down because of the fear that they don't want the military or the police to apprehend them.
But all right, Hafiz, thank you so much for your time. I just wanted to also ask you about how Osei Krom is taking the news of the demise of a legend, right? Daddy Lumba.
Daddy Lumba's death.
What's the general feel of the area, the region, right? You know, following his demise. Last night, we had a vigil night held in his honor. How are people soaking up the news so far?
Well, people are talking about it. You go to the radio stations here, they keep playing his music. Even typical shows like sports shows that are not like music shows, they also play some of these tracks of his favorite ones, like people enjoy. And you go to the pubs, you go to the eateries, the local eateries, people also play some of the music, and people are just eulogizing him, seeing that he's from the Ashanti region, and they are happy. He has been someone who has been consistent in the music industry and projecting the name.
Have you heard from his hometown in Suta? You know.
Yes, I think there was a story. We spoke to them the past week, and then they were so happy about how Daddy Lumba has brought up the name of the area so great. And then they are also expressing some satisfaction about what he has done for the community, the Amangwasi community. When you go there, he has used his influence to get his fans to put up a chips compounds to the people of Amangwase, and is serving the community. So before, people had to walk miles, even pregnant women had to walk miles to other communities within the Nsuta communities, the districts, to access healthcare. But since that was put up somewhere last year, I think people are now using the facility, and they think that because Daddy Lumba has that influence, he has brought his fans together, and they have put in place this facility for them, and is benefiting the community.
Thank you so much for your time.
Do you have a favorite song from Daddy Lumba?
The one, Ghana Ma, I think that's my...
Malam Hafiz, you like things. I'm going to report you to Omar Sanda.
Because my mother is a woman.
Yeah. Okay, you thought you I don't.
All right. Hafiz. Always a pleasure to have you on Sunday Breakfast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Enu. Thank you, Mr. Daka and the team. All right.
Amazing.
Same to you.
So we are making progress, right, in the Ashanti region.
Definitely.
And I hope that our security officers will stick to the high level of, principle, dedication to the cause, so that we can end this once and for all, right? So people can go back to their normal way of living. Right? Imagine if your favorite dress is a smock, right? For some reason, you can't wear smock again.
For a while.
It sounds very abstract or absurd, but it's affected people significantly. Or you're a motor rider, you're a dispatch delivery, and now at every point you have to stop and get searched. Meanwhile, some church elder somewhere. You've never even come up close.
Sometimes there's this. If you go to the States, you will deliver to you within the next 10 minutes. So if within the next 10 minutes timeline they are not there, that means that you get to have that food for free. So we're lucky we don't have those taglines with our deliveries here.
Or like you
Otherwise,
rightly said, imagine your full-time job is being a dispatch rider or a courier service. You know, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is still very early. Yeah. You know, and we have a government that is say 24-hour economy. You know, so if they're already, so that's why I'm saying that let's work very hard collectively to end this once and for all, nip it in the bud, and let's get people to go back to their normal way of living. Right. Amazing.
So, right. I think that's our from our correspondent for you. We're happy to hear of the progress made within the Asokoro municipality and the Ashanti region in general. When we return, we have more for you. Don't go away.
You look amazing. Have you discovered a new secret to stay healthy these days?
Actually, I have. It's called SOS Advance. It is a health supplement manufactured in the UK with 11 essential oils like frankincense, black seed, oregano, and neems, all powered by nanotechnology.
Wow, that's impressive. What does it do?
SOS Advance supports your immune system against invading pathogens, including viruses, bacteria, and toxins. It also provides antioxidant effects to help combat free radicals and reduce oxidative stress on your body.
Wow, I really need this. Like, I've been feeling off lately, but I can't pinpoint exactly what the problem is.
Oh, easy. I think you should get it. You can find it at every pharmacy nearby.
There's a pharmacy here! Let's go! Thank you. I beg his wound's pain.
Pregnant and lactating mothers should contact their physicians. This advert is FDA approved.
Drowning in deadlines, data running wild? Let's fix this together. Join the evolution. Join the sharpest minds in HR at the HR Connect Conference 2025 on August 8 at the Marvin Peak Hotel, Accra, under the theme Empowering HR Excellence, Leveraging Data, Resilience, and Wellness for a Thriving Workplace. It's not just another conference. It's strategy, tech, wellness, and a few smart laughs too. Panels, keynotes, real talk, and real solutions. Let's lead, connect, and transform the way we work. For further inquiries and bookings, please call on 0541 222 365 to secure your seat. HR Connect Conference 2025. Lead, connect, transform.
Remember who we are singing now. At risk of prostate enlargement. We a member or her 20 ebitiminya prostate cancer. 5 bitimi afamu nadia obefamu.
Actually, this is not my fault.
And to wada entina medi maniche Executive Prostate Center.
Executive Prostate Center is a unique medical center where we harmonize in-depth traditional medicine with cutting-edge science and technology to cure, to treat, and to prevent diseases like prostate enlargement, prostate cancer.
Executive Prostate Center. Madame home. Facilities no any professional medical care.
Sisi a bibia clear system ni. Ye nro ne so de natural. Into we koso afama ye.
Executive Prostate Center. My cured.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
Accra High School announces Founders Day 2025. We are delighted to invite you to our annual Founders Day celebration themed Trailblazing Education, Private Initiatives, Breaking Barriers in Ghana's Post-Basic Education. Join us on Sunday, 17th of August 2025 at 11 a.m. at the school forecourt as we honor our founders and celebrate innovative efforts shaping the future of education in Ghana. We look forward to your presence as we reflect on our journey and explore new avenues for progress. Our guest speaker is Onugba Peter Yao Bosruchi, and our chairman is Onugba Daniel Ni Otokuno Saki. Don't forget, it's Sunday, 17th of August 2025 at 11 a.m. at the school forecourt. See you there. Redimentis Opportunitatem.
You're welcome back. This is Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel 1 TV with me, Eno Safo, and Jude Duncan. Joining us is our very own Apioko. When I mention her name, I feel like I want to sing.
Yeah, the matriarch.
Yes.
No, the legend.
What's
much,
this?
You know.
Apioko.
The overall boss.
The one and only. The only lady, like if you're looking through a crowd and you see red hair.
The matriarch, woman king.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Jude, what is going on here?
No, you did for.
Oh, my Lord. Amen.
You know, yesterday I was watching her with Echo, right?
Yeah.
And Echo gave some intro. Then she just started firing, you know, like a freestyle. Like, I have to chill, you know. It was amazing watching you yesterday. First, you know, talking about the event with Echo, and subsequently seeing you on the stage. You know,
at the vigil for Daddy.
At the vigil, yeah. That was really amazing. Yeah. How long did it take you to compose that poem?
I wrote that in 15 minutes.
15 minutes?
What? So the thing is, when you do commission poetry, when you're doing this thing as a business, and you want gigs, and the gigs are coming, can you tell your clients, I'll take 2 weeks to write the poem? You can't do that. The Secretary General of the Creative Arts Agency, Gideon Ayikwe, he had reached out to me last Tuesday to say, okay, this is the lineup and I want you to do something. The team has discussed it. And I didn't get to write it until Thursday. And then I finished it off and pushed it. But I had others, some of them are not performance pieces. For example, there's an anthology of poetry that's being put together. It's a Ghanaian and Kenyan collaboration to celebrate the late Professor Kofi Awuno.
Yeah.
So I was asked to do some pieces by the editors of that piece, you know, that project as well. And they were due on Wednesday. And that information also got a bit late. So I've had to write these 3 pieces and, you know, you just give yourself time kill it, go through.
You know, if I didn't know you and I didn't know you up close and see you do some of the things you were doing or you've done, I'd have said you were lying.
But Abby, tell us, you were physically there at the vigil. Give us, your overview, the experience. How was it?
Oh my goodness! I mean, first of all, it was a great production. There were so many. The greats were there, of course. Bessa Simons, who is also the president of Musica, current president of Musica, was there. Musica was a partner for this for obvious reasons. Pat Thomas was there.
I saw him, yeah.
Oh, look, it was crazy. And then you had also other great artists, other legendary artists. You had Auntie Akofa Gianni was there, Sarkodie was there, all these different people. Then you had the masses. The Lumba fan club, his official fan club was there. And they were on fire. You know, around, the advertised time was 6 p.m., 6 to 10. But you know, this is Ghana, man. So. But around 7:30, I was like, oh, the place was not full. By the time I was getting on stage, because at a point I had to go backstage, just try to cut myself off from everybody. When I got on stage, easily 15,000 people. Wow. And so you had the inner space where there were chairs for the artists, the dignitaries, barricaded with security, of course, again, for obvious reasons. Then you have the outer space. And then this doesn't even show that people were sitting in the bleachers, because there are people who are just taken to the red, gold, green bleachers on the sides. There are people outside the square itself, just hanging around, chatting, lovishyating. There was all of that, singing Lumba songs. I saw a couple singing Lumba songs to each other when I was leaving. And then at the Independence Arc as well, there were also people hanging out there. Massive. People really showed up for Lumba. It was something else. And we had the diplomatic corps present as well. The country up for UNESCO was there. The representatives from the French embassy, representatives from the German embassy, because Lumba, of course, Boga High Life, and Germany is a big part of his story. It was something else.
I saw the foreign affairs minister go to his house yesterday to sign a book of, and he said saying that he transcended, just music, because he became an ambassador for Ghana through his songs. And of course, management of Channel 1 TV also went to
Yes, we were there yesterday with a strong delegation. Firma Adunyami spitting the piao. was doing her things there, But it was a very solemn experience. But even when you enter, this is how you know that this man really, even though it's a shock to us, his death has also brought a celebration. The house didn't feel heavy. It felt like, yes, we know we're in pain, but we know that this man was for Ghana, and so we've welcomed you in, and we got to sign the book of condolence. Some of the names are in there. I mean, look. I
can imagine.
And people, we realized yesterday, had also heard about the vigil, and some had flown in.
Just purposely for that?
Just purposely for the vigil last night.
Wow.
So the man, Daddy Lumba, I think Ghanaians, we say, we don't celebrate our own, but I think we also have our own way of celebrating our legends. It's quiet. It's internal. We experience them personally, and maybe because of the way our culture is, like you could go to the supermarket and see Daddy Lumba there, or you can go somewhere and meet the president. There's a lot of up close and personal in the way we live, and maybe that also tells in how we celebrate. We don't celebrate from afar. We celebrate, when we are called to be a part of something. And last night was evidence of that.
Wow.
Right.
It sounds like an ambush.
It is an ambush.
It was very necessary, just because of the person you are talking about, his influence in an area that you have, you like so much and you are actively involved in. So, Apioko, thank you so much for that overview on Daddy Lumba's vigil last night. Let's get back to why we are here today.
The literacy challenge.
The literacy challenge. But you see, it's not out of place because Lumba, he wrote his songs.
I'm sure if the 50 contestants who will be mentioned are listening to me, I went to the wise because Lumba might feature somewhere in there.
You never know.
You never know.
But he wrote, so we were talking about the fact that and we say this a lot, music is a universal language, art is universal, right? So even if you didn't understand Akan or Chi very well, because of the way he wrote the songs and he presented them, very beautiful, very artistic, you could still connect. There was a spirit in them. But the way he wrote, I mean, I don't understand Tree. I'm not the best Tree interpreter. I know. I mean,
I know.
apologies. But he wasn't using conventional proverbs and idioms. He was creating his own.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why some people say, oh, his music was profane. Some people say, oh, you know, you interpret it the way you want to interpret it.
And it can mean anything for anybody.
All things are pure. You know? So it's not out of place because we are talking about the first leg of the literacy challenge. We received entries. Look, we had thousands of them.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even understand because we did, you know, we started this thing a little later this year because we wanted this time feedback over the years, the young people to be able to write while they're on vacation. So just going into vacation for most of the people who fall within the age bracket, 11 to 15 years old. But within 2 weeks, we got this magnet, and this time, for the first time ever, received entries from all 16 regions of Ghana.
Wow,
It's ridiculous.
that's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Very impressive, actually.
But I think that, you know, this time we were bringing established Ghanaian writers on our platforms to also share their experiences. And I do believe that that has also shown young writers, their parents, their teachers, their guardians, that you can do something with this. Yes, there is. There's a career path. And these are the people who are evidence of that. So I have a couple of entries. I may not be able to read everything because we set a minimum of 600 words, but some people actually wrote theses. No, I'm telling you, some people wrote in books. This is, we've got 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 3 and 3/3.
Yeah, that's an impressive
That's definitely more than 600 words.
Oh, no. This is easily about 1,000 to about double 600, if not more. Yeah. Now, the topic was very simple. We asked young people ages 11 to 15 to write about how climate change is affecting agriculture in Ghana. And we asked them to look at it on different levels. How is it affecting families, individuals, their communities, and then the nation? And then what kinds of solutions do they think we should be looking at to get past that? And so this is an example of that. This particular script is from Bogosu.
Wow.
Yes. And so the school is Golden Star Basic School. The person who is writing is 12 years old, according to what has been put here. I won't mention the name, but I do want to give out a disclaimer. Because we're reading the script doesn't mean that I made it to the top 50. We'll make that announcement tomorrow.
Wow.
Tomorrow morning and then throughout the day. So here we go. Human beings have depended on fruits, vegetables, animals, and other agricultural produce for survival. Throughout the world, agriculture has been the key factor to the existence of human beings. Today, because of technology and high population growth, Ghana's agricultural sector has been modernized in a way to make it easy for farmers to farm crops, cultivated animals, and they produce feed for Ghanaians who have a high demand for food. Agriculture is the practice of farming that deals with the production of all edibles that humans rely on for their survival.
Yeah.
Many agricultural crops found in Ghana include yams, grains, cocoa, oil palm, cola nuts, coconut, timber, and many more. There are 3 main categories of agricultural practices in Ghana. These are the arable farming, that's cultivation of crops, pastoral farming, production of animals, and mixed farming, a cultivation of both crops and raising livestock. Agriculture is still playing a key role in the progress and development of Ghana. Through agriculture, Ghana is the 2nd largest producer of cocoa globally, with most farms located in forest areas of Ghana. Agriculture plays a relevant role in Ghana's economy. Beyond its contributions to the economy, it also improves livelihoods, supports rural development, and provides food security. As Ghana continues to grow and develop, the importance of agriculture cannot be overlooked. And here are some of the key ways that agriculture contributes to Ghana's development and progress. To begin with, agriculture provides employment to Ghanaians, especially the youth in Ghana, providing livelihood for them to cater for their needs. Additionally, it contributes to the national income of the country and serves as a source of food for Ghana's population. Plus, it develops local economies and infrastructure such as roads, social amenities, access to potable water, and good sanitation in rural areas because we need to access the food, and so the development must happen. In spite of all these essential benefits derived from agric, the very support system, which is the climate, is at risk. This is as a result of some human practices that pose negative effects to the environment and causes climate change. Climate change is the long-term warming of the Earth due to an increase in normal global temperatures. This warming is mainly caused by human activities. It occurs when greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide in large quantities trap heat from the sun in the Earth's atmosphere, causing the Earth to warm up rapidly and preventing heat from escaping into space, which can have severe consequences. However, climate change is a difficult issue, but it can be understood by looking at the many causes. It is caused by human activities releasing large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and these main causes include the clearing of forests by cutting and burning of trees for urbanization and logging. Scientifically, trees in the forest absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and they store it, and also in the soil. When they are burned down or cut down, they create carbon that is released into the atmosphere, as a result, degrading the land and making it infertile, leading to desertification. Another contributor of climate change is industrialization. Industrial processes such as cement production, steel production, and aluminum processing, chemical processing, and manufacturing release large amounts of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide into the atmosphere, polluting the air and making it unsafe for breathing. These causes, along with so many others, can have significant impacts on the environment, health, and the economy of Ghana. Climate change is one of the most challenging issues of our time, with serious consequences for various sectors, including agriculture. Agriculture is very important to Ghana. However, the effects of climate change pose significant problems to the sector, decreasing food production, threatening economic stability, and the well-being of individuals, families, and communities. One of the most notable effects of climate change on Ghana's agriculture, which is very disturbing, is the alteration in temperature coming from unpredictable rainfall patterns. Rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns have resulted in shifts of growing seasons, reduced crop yields, and decreased water availability. This has severe implications for farmers who rely on rain for farming as they struggle to adapt to their changing climate conditions. To add on to that, another outcome is loss of fertile land. Due to deforestation, this has caused land degradation and soil erosion, which means there's a loss of living animals, their habitats are destroyed, and ecosystems are disrupted, reducing land availability and productivity for agriculture. So, I mean, it goes on. I'll maybe go to some of the solutions. Yes. Okay, so here's one. To address the impacts of climate change on Ghana's agricultural sector, several practical solutions should be utilized. One approach is to implement soil conservation measures, such as practicing erasing and contour farming to reduce soil erosion and maintain good health of the soil. In Ghana's highly hilly regions, terracing can help reduce soil erosion and improve soil fertility, leading to increased crop yields. Furthermore, planting and replanting of trees in forest areas to serve as windbreaks increase the fertility of the land and soil, provide fresh, clean air, and decrease greenhouse gas emissions. This will also improve on the temperatures and the precipitation patterns of our atmosphere. Providing education to the public on the impact of climate change, what climate change means in simple terms, and the effects on Ghana's agriculture caused by some activities done by Ghanaians. This includes reforestation, burning of chemicals, and many others. This will make the public aware on the outcomes of what they do, what they can do to stop it, and then encourage them to put a stop to the bad activities. In conclusion, climate change poses significant challenges to agriculture in Ghana, affecting the environment, economic stability, and national development. To tackle these impacts, Ghana needs to practice afforestation and reforestation, implement soil conservation measures, and educate the Ghanaian people on the impacts of climate change. This is not only the responsibility of the government, but it is our duty as individuals, families, and communities to come and work together as a nation to combat against climate change and ensure a secure food security system for all Ghanaians in the future.
Wow.
And this is from Bogoso in the Western region, a young man.
Wow.
I mean, he will know better because there's a lot of galamsey
In his area.
in the area, so they can, yeah.
I like where he talked
Wow.
about, I think, the climate change. We're experiencing winter now, and it's...
I'm telling you.
It doesn't happen for us like this,
How
where
did
the
we get
days
here? It
are
was so
so
cold.
gloomy and it's
Yeah.
cold, and yeah.
It's like we're on the streets of London.
I know.
Hello,
London and their
Londoners.
bipolar weather.
No, but this is what the young people are writing.
Wow.
And it's clear that they've done their research. Some people even go as far as creating an appendix of
Hey.
sorts. Yes, and they put their references there. It's very interesting.
I
Our
love
future
it.
researchers. But a lot of people, I remember when we put out the topic, said, hey, now climate change, how many people even understand it?
Yeah.
You'll be
But the young
surprised.
people understand it.
Yeah.
And like this man said, he said it's a difficult topic, you know, to digest, basically, right? But when you look at the effects, then the causes,
Yeah,
then
you
you
can-
can understand. And it's
Yeah.
true. So we need to be doing more of that. I agree with him, of educating the public, explaining why the yam that used to be in season at a certain time, now you're looking for your puna, you can't find it. You know, kontomire.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, there was no kontomire in the system.
Yeah.
Kontomire that grows like wheat, you know, you couldn't find it. But it's because the climate has shifted. And I think the young people understand it. I hope that the authorities, the powers that be, are listening. Thankfully, we see interest in agric. There was a National Agric Forum a few days ago, which our own General Manager, Bernard Avila, hosted. We've had our own agri-fair. We have another one coming up. I won't say when, but look out for it. So gradually, Ghanaians are beginning to realize that gone are the days where, you're just walking, or you're so that you can just be picking your food. It doesn't happen like that anymore. We want shepherd houses. We want to live soft lives.
Yeah,
We
man.
want mansions that look like the ones that are in Hollywood and Dubai. But as you are building, you're destroying the ecology. And whatever you do in Accra affects everybody in other parts of the country, whether it's in Sunyani or Takwa or Tamale, whatever you do up in Wa, it affects us down here as well. It's all connected.
Happy, talk to us about the top 50 contestants, the announcement. What is it going to look like? How difficult or tough was it to get that top 50?
Look, the examiners are struggling. We were actually supposed to receive the top 50 list yesterday evening. And the examiner said, no, you know what, we need to conference one more time. It's not working. Everybody has their own opinion. And you know, even though there's a rubric, you're looking for mechanical accuracy, which is your grammar, your spelling, your great punctuation, the research that's gone into it, the thought processes, the creativity, all of that. Let's be honest, essay writing also has many elements of subjectivity.
True.
And so each examiner has what they're connecting to, and they're struggling to arrive at the 50. But we'll have it today. And tomorrow morning, we'll make the announcement, 7:30 a.m. on the City Breakfast Show.
I don't want to be in your
97.3
shoes at
FM.
all.
No, it's difficult.
You know, because I personally encouraged a couple of people I know to write, and the enthusiasm with which they submitted, you know, their script. You know, so I'm wondering, and now you have every region having,
Every region,
you know,
in
can
the
you-
thousands,
yeah.
yes.
But it's important to let them know that even if you don't make the 50, you know, you should still keep on writing.
No, absolutely. Yesterday, I was reading an article because, you know, you don't stop young people 11 to 15, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Look, I'm 37. I'm still submitting things to writing prizes and arts residencies and all that. And yes, I was reading an article which spoke about the fact that when there's an open call, at our level, that's what it's called, at the professional level, there's an open call. So either a call for submit a poem for an anthology, an essay for publication, an art piece for an exhibition, whatever it is. But the article was talking about the fact that when there's an open call, most of the time, it has nothing to do with the fact that your work wasn't good enough. It's just that at that time, maybe the judges, the examiners, whoever the panel is, they're looking for something specific. There's a curatorial direction. Maybe they want everything to be blue. But that's not an official thing they put out in the information. They call for the submissions. Other times, people actually are looking for a pool of artists, writers, whoever it is, that they can reach out to later. And I've experienced that personally. A typical example is this Awuno thing I'm talking about. I had submitted something a couple of years ago. It wasn't selected. And now they reach back out and say, hey, you know what, there's this project. We love your writing style. We found you through this means. Can you submit?
Wow.
Yes. And it's happened several times. That's not even the first time. And these things are international things. So don't give up. If you don't make it to the top 50, it's by no means an indication that your essay was not good enough or that you're not a good writer. It just means that maybe for this particular competition, you're looking for something, and it's a competition.
Hey, Ayang,
not everybody will be number one. Not everybody
the
will
future
be
is exciting. Very exciting. I mean, if I look at the quality of the scripts I've heard you read all through the week, you know, and again, I was saying to Eno last week on the show, I don't think we're this sophisticated in our writing at this age. Maybe, you know,
are you sure?
Maybe up your cover.
No, like,
you know, but I think generally or averagely, right? I really don't think so. I have some of my exam papers from primary school. I see what I wrote in it, and I wasn't chopping last in class. So, you know, you can imagine. I think that it's a generation where access to information has grown significantly. And so these kids, they operate tablets, so they know what's happening. I was telling you about how my nephew runs me through some of the chat GPT prompts and how to go about it for specific kinds of responses. Crazy. So the future looks exciting.
No, it is exciting. It is, and I think that the young people too, we're seeing, you know, it's Ghanaians don't read. Young people are actually reading. Yeah.
True.
It's very interesting. They have their own book clubs.
Yeah.
The Gen Zs and the Alphas.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So we should be here and be deceiving ourselves and Ghanaians
don't like
the
it.
next generation.
You had a thing.
In a book.
That thing annoys me so much because it can't be true.
Yeah.
I say you want to hide something from a Ghanaian, hide it in a book. No, we see people who at various levels, right? So one time I was producing Point of View, and there was this professor I wanted to speak to. She's Ghanaian. She works in Gavi, right? An ardent writer herself. Like, so people are doing things.
And Ghanaians are also writing. So I think that would be a next level of conversation after the challenge. That Ghana, on a policy level, has to figure a way to get our work into Ghanaian writers' work into schools. Because you see, people connect to what they can relate to, what they see themselves in. You don't see themselves in Shakespeare. That's the truth. Do you see yourself in Shakespeare?
I was doing Shakespeare in English class. No,
I mean, no
I
disrespect to the legendary Shakespeare. I love Shakespeare, but the experiences in Othello and Macbeth are not my experiences.
Not at all.
You know,
in the chest of a woman.
Absolutely.
There
you go. That's what it is.
As Lawrence Dramani who put it.
That's what it is.
Amazing writers.
So that's where we are. So we'll announce the top 50 tomorrow, and then they will be invited to the British Council this Saturday, coming Saturday, the 9th of August. There'll be an aptitude test at 12 noon, 100 multiple choice questions, general knowledge. Maybe Lumba will feature.
It definitely will.
Maybe. And then immediately after that, we'll award the top 50, because we think that if you've come this far and you've got to the top 50, and look at what we're discussing, it's difficult to select them. You should at least be given a certificate of participation and then a medal. So we'll decorate them with medals so that they also know that they've done well, they've come far. If you don't make it to the top 10, that's not the end of the road at all.
Right. So is this aptitude test shades only?
No, so they won't shade. I mean, but it's multiple choice. You know. However, there are certain experiences that they have to go through. It's applied knowledge. It's not true and poor. So I'll give you an example of last year's, because that's past school, right? They were given, the young people were given a dried leaf. Each of them had a dried leaf, a piece of glass, a shard of glass. Let me use the correct terms. It's English. some plastic, like a piece of a recycled plastic bottle, and something else. And they're asked to categorize the items into either biodegradable or non-biodegradable, and then use that to answer a set of questions.
Okay.
2 years ago, they were given, through, Dex Technologies, they have these science sets. So they were given some sets, and they're asked to assemble the human digestive tract. And then based on that, also sketch and answer a question. So it's multiple choice, but it's not A or him, B or him kind of thing. No. There's actually, you have to think and apply the knowledge. That's why it's an aptitude test.
Yeah.
Abby,
I love it.
It's always a pleasure having you.
A pleasure being here.
Before you go, though, talk about our sponsors this year.
Absolutely. We had a meeting with GB Assessment, who's one of the sponsors, a couple of days ago, and these guys are doing amazing things. One of the things that they've said is that for the top 10, in addition to their 10,000 Ghana cedis for the winner, all the other prizes, they are going to give them and their schools access to their past question platforms, especially those who run the JHS curriculum. So that's what they do, GB Assessment. They support access to materials that can help you prepare for examinations. They support schools and entities with marking and grading of scripts, and they've been amazing coming on board this year. It's their first time. Now we have Belmu. Belmu from the House of the Bell. And his Belmu is very interesting. the milk fortified with vitamins. They've got strawberry. I've been stealing my children's Belmu. No, but it's really nice. And
do you know Appy has a sweet tooth?
I do. No, it's terrible. And I like the strawberry one. They come in these little cartons, like mini cartons. So you can just drink it as
on the go.
Charlie, it's so cool. So they too are on board, and we thank them very much because it takes time, effort. The examiners, you can't make them do this for free. It's not charity. You need to sort them out. And then the prize money, all of that, the trophy, getting the spaces to do the things we do, it costs logistical capital. And our sponsors have made that possible, so we're very grateful to them.
All right. We're also very grateful to you for taking time to run us through. It's I don't want to say strenuous, but I get the sense that it could be, right?
It is, because it's a lot of moving parts.
To 50 and then 50 to 10. It must be a really tough job. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having
me. We doff our hats to you guys.
We'll take a quick break now. When we are back, that's sports. Don't go away.
From trash to treasure, meet the man who, in his quest to save his own life, decided to make the environment more bearable.
What problem did you want to solve?
So the pollution problem,
right?
The smoke from the burning of the plant is very poisonous. Personally, I was suffering. I could have asthmatic attacks and end up in the hospital. And I was like, if I don't find a solution to the problem, I can die.
Has it been all rosy for him? Well, he shared one of his experiences with us.
That shelter at Jowli Junction. Yeah. I mean, it was beautiful to see. I used that stretch, but after a while, it vanished.
I couldn't sleep after building that bad shelter. I'll tell you when I started sleeping.
Accompanying him is the Vibe 3. They'd be serenading us to some great tunes.
Girl, you fire, we can't deny that. Many girls from me at by you better. Tell me who on you, mommy water. Say I go be your Santa.
So this Sunday, join Frima Edunyame and Nana Tufo Boateng on the Upside Down Show at 7 p.m. for an uplifting and mind-changing moment.
Well, I go there with you. I go there with you.
The entries have been received and the marking has begun. Who makes it to the next round of the Literacy Challenge 2025? Randomly selected entries will be read on 97.3 City FM on Brunch in the City and the Traffic Avenue, and on Breakfast Daily on Channel 1 TV. Stay tuned to 97.3 City FM and Channel 1 TV to find out who makes it to level 2 of the Literacy Challenge on Monday, 4th August 2025. Level 2 Aptitude Test. The top 50 contestants from across Ghana to make it to the next round shall take part in a written aptitude test on Saturday, 9th August 2025 at 12 noon at the British Council, Accra. Grand finale. The top 10 contestants chosen from level 2 shall compete for the grand prize of 10,000 Ghana cedis in a classic quiz competition on Friday, 15th August 2025. The Literacy Challenge 2025 is powered by City FM, supported by Channel 1 TV, and sponsored by Belmu and GB Assessment.
Welcome. It's Play to Aid.
Get ready for the game show where every play has a purpose. Welcome to Play to Aid, the only game show where your knowledge and skill don't just win you prizes, they help change lives.
What sport is considered the most popular in the world?
Football. Every point you earn goes toward real-world support, from school supplies to health kits, clean water to emergency relief. Play smart, play big, play to aid. Catch all the action, the drama, and the heat.
Most commonly spoken language in Brazil.
Portuguese. Play to Aid every Sunday at 3:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Edna, let's begin.
The Play to Aid game show is proudly sponsored by Tang Palace, Giraffe Island, and VVIP.
You're welcome back to Sunday Breakfast right here on Channel 1 TV. I am Inu Safo. Joining me is Gabby Affair for the sports segment. How are you doing, Gabby?
I'm good. Yourself?
I'm very well. Our weatherman, how's the weather?
Oh, well, it's partly cloudy.
Partly cloudy,
yeah, so
but it's not wet.
No, it's not wet.
Okay.
We hope it stays like this. Yeah, today is Sunday. So.
Okay. All right, sure. Let's go straight into our stories. We had the GFA partnering the APL. Talk to us about that deal. How's it going to benefit, I mean, every fan out there and all of that?
Yeah. So that was it came up on Friday. Yes, on Friday. So the GFA, the Ministry of Sports and Recreation, and also at the sub-productions, they came together, and government, they came together to put together this new baby, which would be of huge benefit to the 18 GPL team. So 18 million Ghana cedis, 1 million for all of these 18 clubs. And according to Keto Kreko, who is the GFA boss, he says the money will be disbursed to the clubs before they kick-start the league season. That's in September. But there's been a lot of questions around it. One is, at that ceremony, we had, the GFA did not speak about the duration of this partnership with Adisa Productions. They also did not speak about who is actually funding this. I've seen people asking me if it's actually government. And if you want to actually connect the dots at that unveiling, you know, we had Chief of Staff, that's Julius Debra there. There was Mama Yarega, who is a former sports minister, and a few other top dignitaries. And if I even want to take you back to the NEC manifestos on sport, there was a part that highlighted that they were looking to increase the salary structure when it comes to the Ghana Premier League. So that would help. I mean, the clubs would have to improve it so that you don't have player exodus continue, and players, you have your top goal scorer leaving to go and play in Azerbaijan. You have your top goal scorer leaving to go. No disrespect to these countries, but if you want your league to be competitive, you need to keep your best players. You need to keep hold of your best players. And I think it's one of the things that this current administration, I'm talking about the sports and recreation, and governments are looking to do. So it's a good initiative. It's good for the eyeballs. It's good for the optics. But we are just hoping that we don't have a repetition of past deals. Past deals in the sense that Xylophone Cash, in the past, were sponsoring the Ghana Premier League. They were doing it just in the middle of that deal. They said they were not going to continue again. Star Times, who were the last broadcast partners, were owing the Ghana Football Association. That has not been solved, and so we are hoping that this would continue. Right. But I think it's a good one for the clubs, because last season we were talking about how poor the GPO. I mean, the matches have been covered on TV. It wasn't good, and this is a good start. So they'll be taking charge of content generation, not just what we'll see on the pitch, but the behind-the-scenes stuff, pre- and post-match interviews, build up. Look, it's good. It's good because if you take
Have you spoken to some of the clubs? And
they're excited. They're excited about it, because to get 1 million before you start a season, that's good. And when you finish on the league standing, there's also a cash prize for you. So it means that it's a good initiative, and it means that it would help boost the salary structure of these teams. Right. Because look, I saw one of the general manager for Great Olympics, Eric Alagidede. He was talking about the fact that some of the GPO teams actually pay their players 1,000 Ghana cedis.
Wow.
Yeah.
In this economy.
Yes, 1,000 Ghana cedis. I mean, that's not too much. That's not good. So I just hope that this would help. Another thing that I think will help is that a lot of our GPO teams don't really know how to brand themselves well. Social media, the jerseys they wear.
For a Kotoko jersey for God
the Babes. Oh, no, as for Kotoko, I think when it comes, and I said this on Sports Panorama, if you ask me to rate the 18 teams, who tops it, I give it to Kotoko.
Really?
Yes.
But Minya jersey nimbi.
Unya, don't worry, I'll hook you up. I give it, and this is not like to promote what they are doing or to, I mean, it's fair. Everybody will tell you this. They've been good. Branding, their presence on social media, pre-match, post-match, press conferences, how they handle it. They are trying to mimic what the Europeans do. They can't get to that level, but I think at least that's the standard. If you are able to do one or two things, I think it's good. So with this financial boost, I think it helps in so many ways. So many ways. Another thing that I would want to ask the GFA, and I'm saying this because they said they would organize a press conference to give us a breakdown of what this 80 million Ghana cedis will do, because I hear Adisa Productions will also take part of this money.
Who is bringing the 80 million though?
Good question. So who is bringing it? And clearly, that's what I'm saying. If you want to connect those dots, the money is coming from government.
Okay.
But we've not had anybody standing up and coming up and say that, okay, we are sponsoring this, we are pumping in this money. Okay. So we need to get details on that. And then the next question is that, would the club have to, all the 18 clubs, would they have to meet certain KPIs to, after they get this 1 million Ghana cedis, so that they can take those KPIs and say, okay, at the end of this season, you've done this and this with the money.
Account for it.
Exactly, because if you look at what the Europeans are doing, especially with the English Premier League, they have something called PSR.
Okay.
That's profitability, sustainability rules.
Okay.
You can't spend above a certain amount in the Premier League. So in terms of like player sales, you are selling, you are buying, that kind of stuff. And all these things, the GFA must tell us, or even the club owners must tell us. So I think that press conference will give us a breakdown of everything. But like I said, I think it's a good start. It's a very, very good start. I'm particularly happy about that next season we have a broadcast partner that will take charge of showing these matches. According to them, they give us 3 live matches every weekend.
Oh.
And another problem I think they'll go through is that a lot of our venues are not good.
Let's say the truth.
Good.
It's terrible.
And even if you look at that statement from the GFA, they highlighted it. So they said some selected venues.
Okay.
They can't take you to all the venues. And some selected venues, I think that Accra Sports Stadium covers it.
So does that mean we'll be using just the big stadiums?
Yes.
And then what about the other ones?
Yes. So and that's a very, very big job, or that's a big problem, because if you have Kotoko traveling to, let's say, Bibiani to go and play at the dance park, The dance
the
park
Lane
is
Clay
not
Sports Stadium.
good. The dance park is not at that level. The Lane Clay Sports Stadium is a bit okay. Can host category B matches, but the parks. Let me say parks. So we have parks and then the stadiums. The parks cannot give you that coverage. Yes, you want to put on TV, and the dance park is one.
Okay.
In Sorchaman Stadium, that's Nana Crown Mansa Park. All these places, the GFA would have to give us what they will be doing with these this venues, because Haas is going there, Kotoko is going there. They are big teams. They are in that space, that category A matches. So you would have to broadcast it. So I think it's good, but there's a lot of work still to do.
All right, let's go to the international front.
Yeah.
My Liverpool, what's happening on their transfer?
Well, Liverpool are now leading the teams to have spent more this season. Yes, according to them, this season they have £500 million to spend on players, and they've already spent half of that. That's 229 million pounds already on Julian Wirtz. They've brought in Jeremy Frimpong. They've brought in a lot of these players, and the next player they want to get is the man on the screen, Alexander Isak from Newcastle United. They submitted a £110 million to Newcastle. Newcastle said no. Their valuation of the player is £150 million. And you can't fault them, because you're talking about a player who scored 27 goals in all competitions for Newcastle United, helped them to qualify for the Champions League and other things. He scored 22 alone in the Premier League. So the player is worth it. But the player too wants to leave.
Too high?
No.
It's not?
He's okay.
Really?
Yes.
But why are we going for Isak when Hugo, plays similarly? Yes.
Well, Hugo Ekitike is coming from Frankfurt. He's not a proven striker.
Okay.
You're talking about somebody who's got experience in the league. He brings you enormous experience.
Okay.
He's played in the league for 3 seasons for Newcastle United. And in all these 3 seasons, he has double figures when it comes to goals and assists. So he gives you a lot of experience. I think he's one of the finest strikers we've had. If you take out City's Erling Haaland, he's the next. He's an all-round striker, can shoot outside the box, can gel well with his players, build up play. He's an all-round striker. He's a Swedish. So you can understand why Newcastle look at that money submitted by Liverpool and say, no, bring us 150 and you come take Isak. Isak himself is frustrated.
Oh, he wants to leave.
Yes, he wants to leave. He wants to leave. So he didn't even take part of Newcastle United's preseason tour in the Asia. He had to leave the team, go to his former club in Spain, Real Sociedad, to train with them. But I hear Eddie Howe, who is the manager of Newcastle United, said the player will be reporting to camp later tomorrow.
Okay.
And then Liverpool themselves will try again. But the news broke this morning that Liverpool were not going to continue with Newcastle's stance of taking 150. I think...
Is there anything they can do beyond?
Well, if Liverpool submit 150, I think Newcastle will let Isak go.
But if they don't,
and the power lies with Newcastle. They have every right to say
negotiating power.
Yes, give us 150 because this is a player who is in top form. All right, but if Newcastle lose Isak, I think it's a big blow on what they'll be doing next season because they're also playing in the Champions League. If Liverpool gets Isak, it's an added power up front because you have Hugo Ekitike already, you have Salah, you have Cody Gakpo, and I say give them the title already if they sign Isak because look, he's a very, very good finisher, a very good buy if Liverpool are able to get it. So let's see what the few days will bring in regards to Liverpool's pursuit of Isak.
Okay. Son Heung, is that how we mention
his name?
Yes, Son Heung-min.
Yeah.
And he wants to leave Spurs after 10 years.
Or you can say Heung-min Son.
Heung-min.
Yeah, Son Heung-min. You're talking about a player who's paid his dues for Spurs.
Okay.
South Korean. He's been, if you take out Harry Kane, I think he's been Spurs' most consistent player. He captained the team to that triumph in the Europa League. And, Spurs themselves have brought in a new manager in Thomas Frank. They've also done some few signings part of those signings is Ghana's own Mohamed Kudus, who would be playing at that position Song plays.
Okay.
He's aging, he's in his late 30s. And so when players get to that age bracket, they want to, it's not they want to, it's just natural. That
the
you
natural
have to,
progression of
yes,
football.
you leave to a slower league, and he's not he's not got that pace to be playing at that competitive level for Spurs. So
where's he looking to go?
I hear he's going to the US to play for LAFC, Los Angeles FC.
Okay.
A few other players have been there. So look, this is a player who's like I said, he's paid his dues for Spurs. A few South Asian players will come to England and perform like he's done. So that's a very, very good one for him to go. What it means for the other players is that the other players would have to step up. And in stepping up, that's kudos because he'll be occupying that spot. And we just hope that he picks up from where Son left off. So it's a good one.
All right. Gabby, thank you so much.
You're welcome,
I have some birthday messages that I want to read out before we go. So this one says, happy birthday to you, Stephanie Mensah. She works at Mulan Smart Educational School in Adregano. Wishing you God's blessings, good health, prosperity, and long life. And that's from Patrick. Happy birthday to my in-law, Mr. T in London. May the good Lord grant you good health and longevity. May he protect and guide you in all endeavors. Amen. From your son-in-law, Kofi Atakakra-Kusi, who's the Deputy Director, Corporate Affairs, Ghana Tourism Authority. Another one here. Happy birthday to an amazing friend, Linda Echampoma at Amasaman Dublugono. Wishing you a day filled with laughter, love, and all your favorite things. Cheers to another year of adventures and making memories together, from Nana Ofe. There's another one here. This one says, it's my husband's birthday. May the blessings of the Lord be poured on you immeasurably. May you be favored and lifted in every area of your life. Happy birthday, Mr. Ejaku. And this is from our very own Mercy Kwanzaa Ejaku, one of our makeup artists here at Channel 1 TV, to her darling husband. So happy birthday to all of you. Don't forget to tune in to 97.3 City FM as well as Channel 1 TV for the top 50 contestants announcement of the Literacy Challenge. If you submitted an essay, this is the station to watch. 97.3 City FM is the station to listen to for that announcement. Right, that's our show for you, Sunday Breakfast. It's a pleasure having you join us. And we'll definitely be back next weekend, bright and early, 7 a.m. But keep your dials on Channel 1 TV. I am Inu Safo. It's been a pleasure.
Accra High School announces Founders Day 2025. We are delighted to invite you to our annual Founders Day celebration themed Trailblazing Education, Private Initiatives, Breaking Barriers in Ghana's Post-Basic Education. Join us on Sunday, 17th of August 2025 at 11 a.m. at the school forecourt as we honor our founders and celebrate innovative efforts shaping the future of education in Ghana. We look forward to your presence as we reflect on our journey and explore new avenues for progress. Our guest speaker is Onukba Peter Yao Bosruchi and our chairman is Onukba Daniel Ni Otokuno Saki. Don't forget, it's Sunday, 17th of August 2025 at 11 a.m. at the school forecourt. See you there. Redimentis Opportunitatem. It's time to promote volunteerism, active citizenship, and patriotism in Ghanaian society,
where we shine the spotlight on the unsung heroes among us.
Today, we're not just launching a program, we're igniting a revolution of skills, dreams, and hope.
On Volunteers TV, we highlight and celebrate people and groups that are great examples to us all.
Every single region in Ghana, we're doing something.
Good.
So no one's being left behind.
Over 800 kids that come to school, so having an extra classroom, extra resources will be really, really beneficial.
If you're a volunteer, you are actually serving because you are giving up your time and resources for nothing in return.
Volunteers TV, Sunday at 6:30 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
This August, get ready for an unforgettable night of worship and celebration as Perez Music presents Glorified, dubbed His Love and Kindness, ministering live Perez Music alongside the legendary Daughters of Glorious Jesus, also ministering Joyful Way Incorporated, Minister Gabi Akwe and Edom Evangelist. Join us on Sunday, the 31st of August, 2025 at 4 p.m. sharp at the Victory Bible Church, Awoshi Dominion Sanctuary for an evening of powerful ministry and praise. It's absolutely free. But if you would like to support this ministry, you can do so by purchasing our special event merchandise or call 0557 116 607. That is 0557 116 607. Let's come together and raise a sound of gratitude for God's love and kindness. It's going to be nothing short of heaven on earth. This event is proudly sponsored by Eddie Spitzer and powered by Rima City of Worship.
Welcome to Adoration on Channel 1 TV, the only show on TV that allows you to draw closer to God through worship and the Word. Every episode of Adoration features dynamic guest interviews who bring a stirring worship that allows you to worship your Maker for His goodness and His mercy and His love towards us. My name is Edna Bright Davis. I'm your host today, and we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce to you our special guest for today's episode. Welcome back from the break. This is Adoration right here on Channel 1 TV. My special guest today is the anointed Perez Music. He's going to lead us in spirit-filled worship, nothing less. It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to see you too. You're looking good. I like the red and black thing.
Thank you. I mean, I was trying to be in the same kind of,
But this is nowhere close to. Okay.
Well, no, we're kind of, trying to blend. I was trying to blend in, but, I hope I did well.
Oh, you did.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It's giving. And I guess I'm a kind of Gen Z.
Giving. Oh, thank you. You think I'm part of the Gen Z?
Oh, yeah, we're kind of.
I'm excited. I think worship is going to be great today.
Everybody's Gen Z. Yeah. Yeah, the Gen Z, they ain't find trouble.
Well, I'll take it. I'll take it. Are you ready for us, though? What do you want to speak? I speak where?
I speak Charlie.
Abalaka.
Come on. I want to catch you. The funny thing is, when you speak Ewe, I could pick one or two. Because my mom used to speak Ewe, so.
She did?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about that after worship. But right now, we're just ready for you to take us right into the throne room of grace.
I'm sure.
Stay tuned. Let's worship together.
Say, call the Lord. the place, alright. Jesus reigns. He reigns in power and in might. We call him awesome.